The old lady and the old man who suddenly appeared were all rankers from the heaven realm. Currently, the SBACE in D. Tion's body was becoming more and more stu.r.dy, and it would be difficult for him to leave or come down in the future. Therefore, when he appeared here, he had a certain amount of awareness and even planned to stay for a long time. The old lady and the old man who suddenly appeared were all rankers from the heaven realm. Currently, the SPACE in D. Tion's body was becoming more and more stu.r.dy, and it would be difficult for him to leave or come down in the future. Therefore, when he appeared here, he had a certain amount of awareness and even planned to stay for a long time. That old man is from the Phone clan. He is a very prestigious clan elder in the heaven realm. His name is Phone Quan, and his strength is very strong, just like that purple moon. Ling Feng is also an elder of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and a fighter. His strength is even stronger than the Purple Moon. LV Qinlian told the matter of the two to Yao Shumi, Gu Dongchen, and the others. Then how is it compared to yours? Yao Shumi asked. They don't dare to attack me, so I can kill them, but that will also cause the demon charming AAS association to have a deep grudge against them. LV Qinlian said. Huang Jintian sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang at the side, telling him the ident. 1. tie of the two old fellows inside the dragon subduing city. Amongst this group of people, only he knew the background of the dragon subduing school. However, this dragon subduing school was actually made up of a wet behind the ears brat. He had then coaxed a rather strong Dan King from who knows where, and pulled his friends from the super martial school to make up for it. Huang Jintian had to admire Chen Xiang from the beginning to end. He had never shown himself in the leader, but had made people think of him as a powerful sect, and this was also because of the dragon bloodline that Chen Xiang had obtained. Right now, the defense of the dragon subduing city was very strong, so Huang Jintian was not worried that the two heaven realm rankers would be able to break through it. Furthermore, he was looking forward to how Chen Xiang would be able to solve this difficult problem, as many people were watching now. Leader, use those two dragon heads and attack them directly. Li Baojun urged as he saw Chen Xiang walking around. That won't do. You ran away too unsightly just now and you've already exposed yourself a bit. If we just rely on some array formation or something now, others will be able to see that we have no foundation. Chen Xiang suddenly laughed. We cannot use that move again. Those two dragon heads cannot handle the two old fellows, and you can take it all on yourself after seeing the Dan King. Could it be that you are? Li Baojun also laughed. He understood what Chen Xiang was trying to do. Then why are you still not making your move? Chen Xiang said, I also want to take action now, but there aren't enough people here. The old granny of the Purple Moon Imperial Land has brought a few old men, but there's only an old man from the Phone clan, and if we wait, there might be some from the Flying Immortal School and the Qianxian Mountain. Elderly, you have to know, if I use the power of the evil dragon graveyard, it will be very difficult for me. Has there been anyone stronger in Dragon Subduing School who came out to fight? Ling Feng's voice carried incomparable ridicule. I can't be bothered to fight with you guys had already planned to attack me together, and now you guys want to do this, there's no way. I admit that I'm not as strong as you guys, of course, this is only because our leader and great clan elder are out, and when they return, you guys won't even know how you died. Li Baojun replied. What a coward. Feng Quan mocked. It's still better than being despicable, shameless, cheap. Li Baojun laughed coldly. How shameless were your people just now? Everyone present has seen it. Ling Feng was furious. No one had ever dared to talk to her like that. She waved the walking stick in her hand, and the purple phoenix carving on it flickered with a purple light. Purple phoenix cry out loud, flying towards the city gate with a burst of purple flame, as if it could burn the entire city. Boom. However, when Duan Sanchong told the people of the city about the situation outside, it allowed many people to relax. After they found out that the dragon subduing school had the upper hand against many ancient powers, and had even killed all the important figures of the ancient powers, many people were filled with admiration towards the dragon subduing school. Boom, boom, boom. Afterwards, Feng Quan and Ling Feng joined hands and crazily attacked the dragon subduing city, and furthermore, they flew high up in the sky, releasing many purple phoenixes, pouncing towards the dragon subduing city, but they were all blocked by the defensive formation. Only now did Chen Xiang feel shocked by the defensive formation, and many people felt the same way, as this level of defensive ability caused many ancient powers to feel powerless. Leader, they are so powerful. If we were to partake 1p8 in the three realms talk, we would be courting death. Li Baojun had seen how powerful the Heaven Realm warriors were. Although they were safe now, they were still scared. Don't worry, our Grand Elder is quite formidable. Chen Xiang was not worried at all. At that time, with the white tiger by their side, whoever attacked them would be courting death. Just when Chen Xiang was getting impatient to wait, a voice came from the horizon. You two are really fast. Hong Kong, you must have come late on purpose, but your flying immortal school S and your bunch of people have all turned to dust. Ling Feng taunted coldly. Everyone knew that this Hong Kong person should be a flying immortal school ranker from the Heaven Realm. He was a long-bearded middle-aged man. When he heard Ling Feng's words, he did not get angry, but from his perspective, the flying immortal school was as much as they could get. There were no longer any Heaven Realm S to call down from there. The most important thing was the flying immortal school's foundation, as long as the foundation was still there. Just because he was not angry did not mean that he would not make a move against the dragon subduing school. Right now, the experts at a distance could guess that they were here for the dragon vein, which could only provide spirit chi, but the dragon vein would grow, and in the future, it would become an existence that could turn into spiritual crystal, the immortal jade. The Heaven Realm would place great importance on it. Although they were not the strongest in the Heaven Realm, but they felt that they were more than enough to shock Dragon Subduing School, who came from the mortal realm. After all, they had sent a strong individual from their respective Heaven Realm. Li Baojun anxiously said, Leader, we are almost there. If they were to gather their power and attack, will they break the great array of Dragon Subduing City? If another 10 come, I won't be afraid. I'm just afraid that they won't come. Chen Xiang closed his eyes and began to mobilize the power of the evil dragon graveyard in the distance. That kind of black aura was the most terrifying. You ancient powers have gone too far. Since that is the case, we shall not be courteous. Seeing Chen Xiang taking action, Li Baojun immediately shouted coldly. Hearing Li Baojun's voice, everyone became excited. The Dragon Subduing School was about to make a move. No errors. Permanent address. The evil chi protecting the dragon vein was released through a large natural formation, forming a gigantic and terrifying dragon sitting there. It released waves of evil chi, looking like the evil soul of an evil dragon, thus it was named Evil Dragon Graveyard. The evil chi protecting the dragon vein was released through a large natural formation, forming a gigantic and terrifying dragon sitting there. It released waves of evil chi, looking like the evil soul of an evil dragon, thus it was named Evil Dragon Graveyard. After Chen Xiang fused with the dragon vein, he could control a portion of the dragon fountain's power, but he had not complete control of the Evil Dragon Graveyard, so he could be used to deal with these people who came to cause trouble. The reason why he built this place was so that when there were people who could attack the city in the future, he could borrow the power of the Evil Dragon Graveyard to retreat. Dragon Subduing City was still quite a distance away from the Evil Dragon Graveyard, but from afar, they could see that the Dragon Subduing City was right below the gigantic black dragon head. It made them feel as if the entire evil dragon was protecting the Dragon Subduing City. Suddenly, the black aura from Evil Dragon Graveyard surged, a deep dragon roar came out. It was as if it came from Hell, gloomy and terrifying. Sensing that there was a change in the evil dragon graveyard, all of the experts' faces changed. The giant black dragon made of black chi suddenly moved. The gigantic black dragon in the sky opened its mouth and roared. The entire sky started to tremble. A violent force was pressuring down on the sky, causing the sky to buzz. Waves after waves of tremors came from it. The chi was pressuring down from the skies. The might was extremely strong. The two huge eyes of the black dragon flashed with a red glow. Under the scorching sun, that kind of light could dye the entire ground red. The killing intent was extremely strong. Everyone looked at the angry evil dragon in fear, especially the targeted Heaven Realm rankers. They were so intimidated by the aura that they were unable to move, and the fear in their hearts made them feel extremely powerless. Along with a loud explosion, everyone was shocked, but then a burst of black chi surged out of the dragon's mouth, shooting out towards the group of people outside the dragon-subduing city. It shot out a huge black light. A vast and berserk energy rushed out like a tsunami. In an instant, it struck the ground and caused cracks to appear on the ground. The shock wave created was like a flood, causing the chi waves to surge out, causing the people of those powers to be drowned in the vast and terrifying power. The dragon-subduing city was surrounded by the black mist, and within the black mist, there were a few gold lights flash. The rankers in the sky could see that a few of the rankers from the Heaven Realm were bleeding from their mouths, and that their bodies were protected by a glittering immortal equipment, allowing them to escape from death. The Feng Quan of Feng Clan, the Hong Kong of Flying Immortal School, and the Ling Feng of Purple Moon Imperial Land, these three extremely strong Heaven Realm rankers did not die, and they could even protect one of them to follow the old man, but they were all heavily injured. Chen Xiang had used up all his energy just now and collapsed to the ground. Although he couldn't kill the three super strong Heaven Realm rankers, he still killed more than a dozen of them. There were a total of 17 or 18 people sent down by the three forces, and now there were only 6 people left, which made them very angry. They wanted to destroy the dragon-subduing city into ruins. This kind of loss could be said to be very heavy, even if they were to annihilate a force in the Heaven Realm. At most, a lot of them had been severely injured, but more than 10 people had died today. These people were among the top of the Heaven Realm's forces. Although they could not be considered experts, they still had some strength, and their status was quite high. Li Baojun hurriedly helped Chen Xiang up from the ground, then said loudly, "You guys hurry up and scram, I'll tell you what's up with you later. Don't provoke the dragon-subduing school anymore, if not we will definitely remove your foundation in Dtian and keep it to the truth." It was just the defensive power of a city, but it was already this terrifying. Those people from before who wanted to get the attention of dragon-subduing school did not dare to have any other thoughts. Just you wait. Ling Feng was currently in a very sorry state. Their immortal equipment had already been broken. That strike just now was simply too powerful. If their reactions weren't fast, they would have been completely annihilated. After the 3 Heaven Realm S from the Flying Immortal School, Purple Moon Imperial Land and Feng Clan left, the rest also left. In the hearts of many people, the strength of the dragon-subduing school S had already far surpassed those of the ancient powers. Even the experts from the 3 ancient powers were unable to shake a city of theirs, let alone the mountain gates of the evil dragon graveyards. Seems like I need to leave a person here to guard the dragon-subduing city to prevent myself from being attacked. Chen Xiang recovered some of his strength. Although he did not use the power of the evil dragon graveyard too much, the effect of the attack was extremely great, almost exterminating that group of people. After a few hours, the evil chi had dissipated outside. The big doors of the dragon-subduing city opened once again. It was a mess outside the city, but the inside of the city was filled with cheers. Duan Sanchong rushed over and laughed. "Those people will not be coming back for a while. If they come again, I will go and dig their graves thoroughly. I need to go into closed-door cultivation for a period of time. If anyone comes to find me, then I'll arrange for him to stay in City Lord's mansion." The white tiger had said that it would come find Chen Xiang before the three realms talk. Chen Xiang entered the deep dragon vein. After going through the four nirvana tribulations and obtaining the killing G.O.D. heart, he had not been able to calm down and stabilize his cultivation. The last time he had obtained the killing G.O.D. heart, he had suddenly comprehended the terrifying celestial slain method, the Great Void Star Seal. He believed that the killing God heart might contain the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's insights into the heaven-earth killing method, so he wanted to take a good look at this powerful killing God heart now. What a strong heart! It seemed to have been cultivated through some sort of special method. It could very possibly be the heart of that big white cat, but it doesn't seem to be a real heart at all. Long Shui was suspicious. This heart did not grow in a human's body, but was formed by nature. Naturally formed? Chen Xiang shook his head. When I ask White Tiger next time, he should be the clearest about the killing God heart. Chen Xiang calmed his heart and peeked inside the killing God heart's body and discovered that it was a vast expanse of white spac inside. What he found inconceivable was that the pure white energy inside the killing God heart was actually condensed from killing intent. The killing aura was already quite evil, but it had now become abnormally pure and holy. His mind was immersed in the killing God heart's vast spac, and just as he was exploring, he suddenly discovered that inside the killing God heart, a golden light curtain had appeared, as if it had cut off the vast expanse of spac. Just as he wanted to rush over, he was blocked by a resistance, and it even caused his entire divine sense C to tremble violently, which gave him a splitting headache. There's something inside this killing God heart. Chen Xiang withdrew his spiritual will and gasped for air. It's a very powerful thing. What is that? When your killing heart shattered, the killing God heart was drawn out by that murderous aura. This should be your heart now. What's inside? What can't you see? Long Shui was also very surprised. Chen Xiang did not dare to try again. Just now, his divine sense C had almost collapsed. The power that could attack the mind was too terrifying. Chen Xiang did not dare to try again. Just now, his divine sense C had almost collapsed. The power that could attack the mind was too terrifying. I feel that there's a very powerful soul inside the killing God heart. Chen Xiang's expression became much better. Moreover, he's deep in his sleep, so he's carrying out self-protection. Could it be the soul of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord? Su Meiyao shouted in shock. No, I have to think of a way to get that soul out, otherwise your soul will be devoured. Bai Yuyu's face changed. He felt that this was not a good thing. It isn't from 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. 10 Heavens Supreme Lord made a great sacrifice in order to cut off contact with the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Her soul should have been destroyed long ago. I have come into contact with the heaven-earth killing method and the Lion Mountain stone tablets. I understand this very well. Chen Xiang revealed a pondering look. When I see White Tiger, I must ask him clearly and get him to think of a way to get the soul of the killing God heart out. I always feel like it's a disaster. Bai Yuyu's voice was ice-cold, and she had a bad premonition in her heart. Previously, the White Tiger had said that the killing God heart was following the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord and should not appear inside it. However, after Chen Xiang's killing heart shattered, the killing God heart suddenly appeared, making people feel that it was not a coincidence. Forget it for now. Chen Xiang was currently very tired and needed to rest. In any case, he would soon be able to meet the White Tiger. Chen Xiang stayed inside the dragon vein for 10 days. He did not dare cultivate here, and was worried that he would draw out a large amount of spirit energy, affecting the growth of the dragon vein. I keep having the feeling that there is something unspeakable going on in 3 realms talk. Bai Yuyu suddenly said, with my understanding of the demon and devil realms, they shouldn't be able to compromise so easily. I think you should ask that demon empress or Ji Mei Xian. I feel like those ancient powers are plotting something. There are not only human realms in the ancient powers, there are also demon and devil realms. In the three realms, the ancient powers are the strongest as well. If the ancient powers of the three realms calmly sit down and negotiate, that would mean that they are planning something and then bringing in some of the other powerful forces. Su Meiyao said, "Didn't they say that Di Tian was complete back then, and did not differentiate between human and demon? So they should have had contact back then, and the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord should have been considered a demon beast that could be followed by many humans. It can be seen that many races were very harmonious back then." Chen Xiang also felt that there were still many things hiding in this world. For example, when the Three Realms talk was about to begin, the Heaven Thunder Purgatory appeared, and many experts from the Heaven Realm came down regardless of the consequences. It seemed like they did not plan to return, and then there would be the most powerful peace between the three realms, which was very different from the few times in the legends. Since the three realms had merged into one, it was reasonable to say that the battle had become even more intense. Now that they were able to sit down and negotiate calmly, everyone felt as if there was a force behind this. When Chen Xiang came out of the dragon vein, the dragon-subduing city had become even more lively. In order to ensure that the dragon-subduing city would not be invaded from the inside, the transmission array was established outside the city. The closest to dragon-subduing city was Pill City. The huge city had become extremely quiet, with only a dozen or so large shops inside. They never thought that there would be a power that dared to oppose the Dan Alliance on this land. In the past, there were many forces that wanted to build a city near Dan City, but they were all afraid that it would be destroyed by the Dan Alliance, so no one dared to, even if it was a little further away. Now that they were near the Three Realms talk, many different forces were busy with various matters. Chen Xiang heard that many different forces would bring a group of people over, and a great battle might even break out. There were many demon armies stationed outside the Heaven Thunder City, and now, many disciples of the different human realm powers were all gathered outside the Heaven Thunder City. This information was all collected by Li Baojun, which made him a little worried, because there were only a few people in the dragon subduing school. Although the Earth's core race was a very powerful force, it could not SHI+ any under the sun. Inside the City Lord's mansion, Li Baojun said, "Leader, when the time comes, we can only go alone. If I stay and defend the city, would you be able to go alone?" Chen Xiang laughed. "Didn't I say we have a very powerful great clan elder?" Li Baojun was still a little worried. "If only there was someone who could guard the city on my behalf. I want to go with you." At this moment, a sweet voice rang out, "Leave the defense of the city to us." The moment the voice appeared, two beautiful figures appeared. Lan Lan and Yen Yenran slowly appeared, scaring Chen Xiang. Lan Lan used his invisibility inherent skill and suddenly appeared with Yen Yenran, so Chen Xiang did not notice. "Can you do it?" Li Baojun understood the strength of these two women very well. Even though they were not bad, they were still lacking to protect the entire city. They may not be enough. This voice startled Chen Xiang. It was actually a white tiger. Furthermore, the white tiger had brought a strong old man with it. That old man was the patriarch of the white tiger fighting race, Bai Zhan. Chen Xiang calmed down very quickly and laughed. "Elderly, this is our great clan elder, you can just call him Clan Elder Bai." When Li Baojun saw the white tiger, his heart couldn't help but SHI+ver. Although the middle-aged man in front of him was very ordinary and didn't have any aura, he still felt a sense of danger. Although Bai Zhan's aura was overbearing, he felt that the white tiger was even more terrifying. Bai Zhan will stay behind to defend the city. Three Realms talk is more complicated than I thought. As the white tiger spoke, there was a touch of solemnity between its brows. Chen Xiang had already guessed what was hidden in the Three Realms talk, but seeing how cautious the white tiger was, he was even more sure. Li Baojun immediately said some matters on to Lan Lan and Yen Yenran, while Baijian was only responsible for the fight. The patriarch of White Tiger fighting race was not an easy person to deal with. Even Chen Xiang wanted to see his strength. Chen Xiang and the White Tiger were in a secret room. The White Tiger spread its hands. I know you have a lot of questions, so I'll ask. Is the killing G.O.D. heart your former heart? Chen Xiang pondered for a moment, and decided to ask this question. He thought that it would be strange if he had someone else's heart inside his body. The White Tiger also thought for a moment before saying, "That's the heart that I've used before." Used it before? Chen Xiang's face revealed a look of surprise. My heart was once torn to pieces by a dragon. At that time, I searched for a long time before finding a strange stone to substitute for it. The White Tiger said. The White Tiger spoke very easily, but Chen Xiang's heart was in turmoil. It seemed that the White Tiger's heart had actually been grabbed and broken before. The White Tiger spoke very easily, but Chen Xiang's heart was in turmoil. It seemed that the White Tiger's heart had actually been grabbed and broken before. I've discovered that the killing G.O.D. heart has a very strong soul. Would that affect me? Chen Xiang immediately spoke out the thing he was most worried about. Oh? You actually discovered it? You've only been fusing with it for a few days. It took me a long time to realize it back then, and it was the same for Chi-S. H.I. The White Tiger was extremely shocked. According to his experience, Chen Xiang wouldn't have discovered it so early. Chen Xiang was even more shocked than the White Tiger. The mysterious soul of the killing G.O.D. heart had actually existed for such a long time. Then how did the killing G.O.D. heart form? Chen Xiang continued to ask. Why are there two in White Tiger divine weapon? The White Tiger stroked its chin and said, Let's put it this way, at that time, there was a guy who knew that there was a very strong soul within my killing G.O.D. heart. When that guy saw through the origins of that soul, he proposed to refine both the killing G.O.D. heart and the soul into a divine weapon. You don't need to know who that guy is. When the White Tiger saw that Chen Xiang wanted to ask questions, it immediately stopped him. Then it continued. But at that time, more than half of the mysterious soul in the killing G.O.D. heart was devoured by me and assimilated into my body. That fellow refined my body into the slaughtered G.O.D.'s hand, then refined that heart into a killing G.O.D. heart. At that time, I gave the killing G.O.D. heart to my first disciple, Chi-S. H.I. I hid it away, and after I reincarnated, I took the slaughtered G.O.D.'s hand out to wait for others to retrieve it. Why did you give the slaughtered G.O.D.'s hand to someone else? That was refined from your own body. Chen Xiang touched his chest. He already knew that the soul inside the killing G.O.D. heart was extremely mysterious, and even the White Tiger did not know about it. There was another reason why I was reincarnated. It was to get rid of that mysterious soul. At that time, I also felt that guy was very dangerous. The White Tiger said in a low voice. Seeing the smile that was not a smile on the White Tiger's face, Chen Xiang really wanted to take out the killing G.O.D. heart. He felt that he had obtained something extremely dangerous, and it was at the location of his heart. To be honest, heavenly alchemy and heaven-earth killing method were both extracted from that stone by me. I feel that the stone is very special, and then I used it to differentiate my own heart. The White Tiger said again. What? Chen Xiang was shocked yet again. The heaven-earth killing method was actually spread out from you. That's right, I shared it with the other three guys. Those three guys set it down to their disciples, and then evolved a lot of powerful martial skills. Many of them could be considered divine skills, but only the lowest ones. Chen Xiang now understood why the divine arts of the four-phase magic kung fu Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu, and those Imperial Dragon Race S were so similar. That rock is very powerful. I'm afraid of the guys inside. But you don't have to worry, you're different from me. You already have the 3-4 symbols divine weapons S in your possession. As long as you collect the last one, you will be able to find out the origins of the soul inside the killing G. O D heart. Chen Xiang said, Senior, you should also know that Suzaku Divine Weapon is on Elder Sister Menger. It seems like he won't be able to fuse with me anymore. Elder Sister Menger and that Suzaku Divine Weapon already have feelings for each other. I understand the relations. HI plus P between the two of them. But I have the vermilion bird's skeleton. The white tiger slightly opened its eyes and said, Back then, that guy separated the vermilion bird's feathers from its bones. He first refined the feathers into Suzaku silk, and he succeeded on his first try, so he didn't refine the vermilion bird's bones. The vermilion bird's bones are for reserve. That fellow is worried that the feather refinement will fail. I remember he said he was going to make a bow out of the skeleton. The white tiger rubbed its nose. Chen Xiang was very curious about who that fellow was. He actually refined the bodies of the white tiger and vermilion bird? He suddenly thought about the mysterious divine book that had many divine formations recorded within, and Dongfang Xinyue and Lu Menger even found the blueprint of a bow. Now, he was sure that the divine book was left behind by the fella that white tiger spoke of. Senior, I also have the blueprints. Please help me refine the Suzaku bow. Chen Xiang said excitedly. Unfortunately, I'm not that guy. I can't refine it. The white tiger sighed. I also want to know what medicine that guy bought from the bottle gourd. The reason he created the 4 symbols divine weapons is to suppress the soul inside the killing G. O D heart. Find that fellow. Chen Xiang said again. If he did not ask the white tiger about the killing G. O D heart before, he would not be this worried. Now that he knew that even the white tiger was afraid of the soul inside the killing G. O D heart, he was even more afraid. I can't find it. The white tiger shook its head before consoling Chen Xiang. Don't be afraid. With this killing G. O D heart, your comprehension of the heaven-earth killing method will be twice the result with half the effort. This is a good item, and it's only because of this that Chi S. H.I. Plus and I were able to obtain such powerful strength in the past. The white tiger patted on Chen Xiang's shoulder. Maintain a good attitude. If that soul is going to be deceived, I believe you will be able to restrain it. Right now you should be worried about 3 realms talk. Chen Xiang sighed, then sternly asked, What are they trying to do? Are they those ancient powers? I'm not sure for now, but it's definitely not a good thing for them to gather together. Back then, when they betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, they all received benefits from that mysterious power, and they all had something in their hands. If they put that thing together, I wonder what would happen, but it's definitely not a good thing for you all. Are we going to stop them? Chen Xiang asked. No, you won't be able to stop it anyway. The best is to urge them to do it in front of us. If they were to do it in the dark, we will not know or be able to stop them when they come up with something powerful. The white tiger seemed to know something. When Chen Xiang and the white tiger walked out of the secret room, Li Baojun had already made the arrangements. Afterwards, the 3 of them went on their way and went through a simple disguise, so they didn't want to cause too much trouble in advance. Chen Xiang, White Tiger and Li Baojun traveled to Heaven Thunder City through the transmission array. Maybe the place where Heaven Thunder Purgatory appeared was hiding something. Otherwise, Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would not choose to heal there. The White Tiger said in a low voice. Could it be that this is also the reason why they chose to hold the 3 realms talk here? Chen Xiang activated Heaven Tour method. He wanted to find something to do, since there was still some time before it would begin. Brat, keep a low profile. I don't want to be scooped up by you to be a super fighter. The White Tiger was very clear about Chen Xiang's intentions. If someone came to attack them, the White Tiger would definitely attack. Watching without an advertise, the e.m.e.ent is fun. Watching without an advertise. EMENT is fun. The Heaven Thunder City was originally established because of a nearby Heaven Thunder Purgatory. At that time, there were a lot of resources inside the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Although it was destroyed now, the city was still very busy, and the power in charge of the city was one of the 4 great powers in the East. The Purple Moon Imperial Land was relatively strong overall. Even in the Heaven Realm, it was the same. That was why the area that the Purple Moon Imperial Land controlled was wider. The Purple Moon Imperial Land suffered heavy losses in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, but did not lose her position as the Eastern Autarch because the Purple Moon Imperial Land was also very strong in the Heaven Realm. She could send some experts to make up for the vacancies, and now it was that old lady, Ling Feng, who took over the position. They can't stay in Pill City anymore, and the entire Dan Alliance has moved here. They have some brains, so they didn't stay in Continent of the King to guard it. Chen Xiang heard from some Sursby that there were a few large pill stores that had suddenly appeared, without even needing to think. He knew that it was brought back from Pill City. I'm afraid they haven't taken back their funds yet. These people originally used 100 million spars to buy back the land we bought in Pill City, thinking that they could chase us away. Who knew that we would establish a city near Pill City and completely destroy them? Li Baojun thought of this as he let out a proud smile. He had Partic 1p aided in this event back then too. The White Tiger laughed. This is just like lifting a rock to smash one's own foot. Although they have been cheated by you guys with a lot of spar, but they are definitely going to use their strength to earn people back in other ways. That's right, so we have to take care of their pill shop right now. Chen Xiang looked at Li Baojun and gave him a meaningful glance. You can't be thinking of causing trouble, right? The White Tiger's brows slightly rose. We made a promise once again, and I only promised you that you would be safe and sound when you were at 3 Realms talk. Don't do anything rash at a time like this. What's there to be afraid of? When the time comes, you won't have to do anything, we can handle it. Chen Xiang had already excitedly walked towards the grand and beautiful pill shop in the distance. Purple Moon Imperial Land and Gold Sun Saint Realm experts were both in the Eastern Sage Realm, and their strengths were similar. Moreover, they were experts in using fire, and the disciples of Purple Moon Imperial Land could cultivate purple fire using their own cultivation method. The majority of Gold Sun Saint Realm disciples used golden flames. Could this Purple Moon Imperial Land be related to Hua Xiangyue? Didn't this little flower demon say that she came from the Purple Moon Realm, and that she also has Purple Moon Fire Soul? Although there are many people in the Purple Moon Imperial Land that can use purple flames, none of them have Fire Soul S, Long Shui said. I'll find a chance to ask her. I keep having the feeling that it wasn't that simple when she came to mortal martial realm from the Purple Moon Realm back then, and that there might be some other secret behind it. Chen Xiang walked very quickly and arrived at the entrance of the Golden Yang building in an instant. Standing at the entrance, he could feel a strong and slightly scorching aura floating out from within, which meant that the majority of the pills inside were refined by the Golden Sun Saint Realm. When they saw the White Tiger's helpless expression, Li Baojun laughed and said, "Maybe this brat is just going to go in and buy some pills or something. Don't worry, how about this? We'll pretend that we don't know him and just watch from the side." Chen Xiang now looked like a very simple and honest young lad. He looked harmless, with a silly look on his face. The White Tiger accepted Li Baojun's suggestion and pretended not to know Chen Xiang, but they kept a distance. After Chen Xiang entered the Golden Yang building, many handsome, beautiful young men and women looked at him with contempt, because regardless of whether it was the outside or inside, the decorations of the Golden Yang building were all extremely luxurious. Although Chen Xiang's attire was not bad, many people with statuses felt that this kind of person should not appear here. There were many transparent crystal counters along the walls of the hall. There were many elixirs, as well as some small jade bottles that contained low-grade pills. Generally, high-quality pills were rarely displayed, because those wealthy people had set those pills at a high price. Even though there were no high-grade pills, it still attracted a lot of attention. For the younger generation members of famous families, low-grade pills were a luxury good for them, so they often gathered here to discuss about the medicinal ingredients and pills. Although many of them did not refine pills, they were still very knowledgeable in the field of pills. If I could eat a beauty dan every year for 1,000 years, my face would not be old, but it's a pity that the beauty dan's medicinal ingredients are extremely rare and also extremely scarce. It's not easy to gather 1,000 of them, a man in green clothes said as he looked at a small blade of GRASS. That small GRASS was a snow mussel jade GRASS, and the main ingredient used to refine it looked like a girl's snow-white skin. Although the quality of the snow mussel jade GRASS in the display cabinet wasn't that good, it was still eye-catching in the hall. Chen Xiang immediately walked over to have a look. He had a lot of these snow mussel jade GRASS, so Bai Yu often treated these snow mussel jade GRASS as food to help her learn the Icewind magic kung fu. Shopkeeper, is this snow mussel jade GRASS for sale? Chen Xiang suddenly shouted loudly. He realized that the snow mussel jade GRASS in the crystal cabinet was strange. It was completely different from the one he was familiar with, but it looked exactly the same. It's just for sale here, but you won't be able to afford it. A lady in a red dress looked at Chen Xiang with her charming phoenix eyes in disdain. What a country be you! Begin yelling and shouting, not even knowing how to behave. A girl in a yellow dress looked at Chen Xiang, then looked at the green-clothed man who was talking about Beauty Dan just now, shook her head and sighed. We are all men. Why is the difference between this guy and young Mastering so huge? Young Mastering, Chen Xiang actually knew that one of the two great Tong Tian aristocratic families in the East was the Ying family. An old man walked over impatiently. He frowned and looked at the big, simple and honest guy in front of him, and said, Of course I want to sell. Can you afford the 4 billion spar? When the surrounding people heard this price, they could not help but secretly take a deep breath. When snow mussel jade GRASS were auctioned off, they were all around 35 years old or so. Can you sell it? The charming red-dressed lady looked at Chen Xiang with contempt and laughed coldly. A table of contents. Reading is a form of enjoyment and it is recommended that you collect it. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Chen Xiang replied impatiently, If I can sell them, why don't you take off all your clothes and walk around the city? Little girl, it's my own business whether I can afford it or not. What are you talking about on the side? Are you going to be able to afford it? You! The red-dressed woman immediately shouted in anger. Chen Xiang did not let her continue speaking as he quickly threw out a storage bag. Innkeeper, take a look. This is the 4 billion spar here. I'm going to get off this snow mussel jade GRASS. He was a leader of the dragon subduing school, sitting on a dragon's vein, with countless spar. He would definitely lack these few. The shopkeeper was stunned for a moment and immediately sent his consciousness into the storage bag. There was indeed a huge pile of spar inside. Even with his level of consciousness, he still had to take a look for a while. After a while, the old shopkeeper nodded his head. The way he looked at Chen Xiang had changed. It was as if he had discovered a treasure mountain, and did not dare to look down on Chen Xiang anymore. It is indeed 4 billion spar. That shopkeeper was only a shopkeeper, so he naturally knew that someone who could casually toss out 4 billion spar would definitely have a huge background. The shopkeeper could see a group of well-dressed, cultured and refined young men and women strolling around, but there were very few people like Chen Xiang who bought the pellets so easily. The disciples of the famous sects only showed off their talent, and were able to win the favor of the girls. The red and yellow-dressed women who mocked Chen Xiang just now were completely speechless. Although they knew a lot of young masters, although they all seemed to have a great temperament and self-control, and were even more wealthy than the young masters of many small families, for a guy like him who could throw out 4 billion spars just because he didn't feel much pain, perhaps even the heavenly girls would not be able to do it. Li Baojun immediately came over, and carefully looked at the snow muscle jade GRASS in Chen Xiang's hand. He slightly frowned and said, "Little brother, this is not a snow muscle jade GRASS." Chen Xiang knew that Li Baojun and the White Tiger had pretended to know him, so he did the same. "Old man, you're an expert too, to be able to tell what this is," he replied. The people in the hall were still surprised that the young man in front of them had spent 4 billion spar to buy the snow muscle jade GRASS, but then they suddenly heard that it was not a snow muscle jade GRASS. After hearing it, young Master Ing frowned slightly. "How can it not be the snow muscle jade GRASS? I have brought a lot of people to admire it, and the Dan King of Golden Yang Building has also been resolute before." Li Baojun laughed. "There are also times when Dan King sees wrongly. Let me tell you this is called Black Jade Snow GRASS. It looks similar to a snow muscle jade GRASS, but because this profound jade snow GRASS is not properly stored, a large amount of spirit energy has been lost. It looks similar to a snow muscle jade GRASS. This was one of the main ingredients used to refine the face-preserving pill. The face-preserving pill was a high-grade ground-level pill. You only needed to eat one pill to be able to maintain your complexion for a long period of time, and it was much more effective than eating thousands of beauty dans. Old man, you have good eyes. I bought this profound jade snow GRASS for 4 billion, is it worth it? Chen Xiang laughed. Everyone in the hall was discussing softly. Many people expressed their disbelief, thinking that Chen Xiang was just fooling around. The main ingredient of the face-preserving pill, Chen Xiang, was very familiar with it. He had previously obtained it from the medicinal garden that Dan King Li Tianjun had left behind, at that time when Li Baojun was still guarding the medicinal garden. Although he could not refine pills, he was very familiar with it, so he came to join in on the fun. Just now, young Master Ing said that this is a snow muscle jade GRASS. He should be a descendant of the Ing family, there's no mistake about it. Chen Xiang laughed secretly in his heart. It was obvious that the White Tiger was trying to make trouble for young Master Ing, and it was trying to make things difficult for him. He is this old man, the fire chi surrounding his body is this strong. He is probably an outstanding figure in the Dan King. He is just a junior, Chen Xiang said disdainfully. This wild boar, have also refined a few batches of broken pills, so I still have a rather good understanding of medicinal ingredients. The occurrence of such a thing here immediately attracted the attention of several Golden Yang Building's pill sect. These were all alchemists who were able to refine 3 high-grade ground-level pills. "Little brother, can you take a good look at this?" a pill sect member asked. They were extremely suspicious of this. If the 4 billion spar could sell a stock of snow jade GRASS for it, it would be a huge loss. "No, what if you guys want to go back? You guys are members of the Gold Sun Sacred Realm, and are a huge force. At that time, who would I find to reason with?" Chen Xiang had not put down the storage magic treasure yet. He had only placed his hands behind his back. This made the few pill sect members slightly angered. He really wanted to snatch it away from them. Li Baojun smiled and said, "Little brother, if you trust this old man, let me help you refine the profound jade snow GRASS into a batch of pills. I think that my pill refining skills are good. I can produce 2 pills in one furnace. At that time I will only need 1 pill, and I will need some other ingredients to concoct the face-preserving pill. Being able to produce 2 face-preserving pills in one pot made many of the alchemists present feel deep veneration for Li Baojun. They didn't think that such an unremarkable old man would actually be such a powerful alchemist. Li Baojun had eaten a lot of beauty dan and face-preserving pills to make himself look very young, but as an elder of the dragon subduing school, he had fought with many great powers on many occasions. In order to not be recognized, he disguised himself as an old man. "All right, I trust you. Old man, prove it and show this bunch of people that don't understand anything." Chen Xiang immediately gave the profound jade snow GRASS to Li Baojun. The few people from the pill sect secretly sneered in their hearts. Even now, they did not think that it was a snow muscle jade GRASS. They were very confident in themselves and thought that they would not be mistaken. Li Baojun immediately took out his pill refining furnace after receiving the herb, and very cleanly processed some of the herb. If one looked carefully, they would be able to distinguish the quality of the herbs, especially those supplementary herbs, which were all very old and could be sold very well. Chen Xiang was extremely confident in Li Baojun, as he was Li Tianjuan's successor. Li Baojun's pill furnace looked ordinary, but everyone felt the fire from it, and did not dare look down on it anymore. It was because the fire only overflowed some heat, and it made people feel that it was terrifying, and the inconspicuous pill furnace could withstand it. A table of contents. Reading is a form of enjoyment and it is recommended that you collect it. Watching without an advertise, the e.m.e.ent is fun. Watching without an advertise. ENT is fun. Li Baojun's flames were indeed very terrifying, because he was already a 5 elements heavenly fire. Even Chen Xiang was ashamed of himself, but if his heaven fire could evolve into a heaven fire, then it would also be very powerful. Seeing Li Baojun being so serious and refining for a period of time, the few pill sect elders became anxious. If it was the real snow jade GRASS, they would not be able to get it back because it had already become a pill. If it was before, they might have been able to buy back with a few more spar. Now they regretted not stopping Li Baojun. Everyone patiently waited. Besides, it was rare to see a face-preserving pill being concocted, let alone a very strong alchemist. All of the alchemists present guessed that Li Baojun might be a Dan King. Li Baojun's furnace was very stable, and the weak hot air it was emitting was very stable. Alchemists could tell that the situation inside was very stable, and normally, only high-level alchemists would be able to make it, then it would at least be at Dan King's level. Li Baojun opened his eyes and smiled. "It's already been refined, my luck is not bad, I can condense 2 pellets, although the quality of the mystical jade snow GRASS has dropped a lot, but I will use the auxiliary ingredients to melt the medicine aura and raise the mystical jade snow GRASS. Only by raising its quality will I be able to condense 2 pills." Just then, he opened the furnace and saw 2 light yellow Dan King-s floating out. Looking at the color and rich pill fragrance, he could tell that they were of high quality, and that this was not Beauty Dan-s, but real, fresh out of the furnace, face-preserving pill. Li Baojun laughed. "Everyone, you all can see it now, I and this little brother have not misjudged it, that is indeed a profound jade snow GRASS. I have successfully used it to refine 2 face-preserving pills." When young Master Ing saw Chen Xiang's complacent expression, he secretly hated him. The women around him were also like this, but they wanted the face-preserving pill even more. On the other hand, the shopkeeper and the few Dan sect disciples of Golden Yang Building were regretting their decision. If they were to sell this face-preserving pill for auction, it would be worth tens of billions of spar, and maybe even higher. Yet, they were willing to sell the snow jade GRASS for 4 billion, something that could be sold for an even higher price. "Please wait a moment." Since you two are knowledgeable, I believe you two want to earn more with your clairvoyant eyes. At this time, a middle-aged man wearing a golden robe walked over. Elder One. The few people from the pill sect and the shopkeeper saluted again and again. The Elder One nodded his head. When he received the news, he also felt uncomfortable in his heart. They had actually made a mistake and made the other party buy a stalk of snow jade GRAS for such a cheap price. Oh, you want us to continue strolling around here? Chen Xiang didn't buy the profound jade snow GRAS to earn some spars, he didn't lack it at all. Of course not. The first place where this snow jade GRAS grew is a place covered in cold all year round, and the conditions for its growth are extremely harsh. Don't you want to know where this snow jade GRAS came from? The Elder One said. At this time, a youth in the crowd said, it should be the profound cold ancient realm from the far north. It is said that during the primordial era, there were strange flowers and strange plants blooming in the precious land. I've also heard that the ice is called the primordial profound Bing, and it has all sorts of colors. Even if it was baked under the blazing sun, it would be difficult to melt, and even the flames of some alchemists are unable to melt those primordial profound Bing. In these past few years, there has been no snowstorm in the far north of the profound cold ancient realm. The Elder One nodded his head. If the profound Bing with the strange ice flowers are most likely different from the others, then we just obtained a group of profound Bing here. Since you two have such good taste, why don't you check if the profound Bing have the strange flowers and plants? One must know that all those strange flowers and herbs were from the primordial era, and this piece of land back then was the place where Tian stood above the 9 heavens and 10 great earth. That was definitely not an ordinary plant, it was most likely something from the immortal grade's holy level. I heard that many ancient powers have sent people to the profound cold ancient realm to dig for profound Bing, and even bought some strange profound Bing. It seems that some ancient power had once obtained a spirit flower of the heaven level. This was the first time Chen Xiang and Chen Xiang had heard of this kind of thing. They immediately nodded and agreed to go take a look at the profound Bing. Senior White Tiger, do you know anything about profound cold ancient realm? Chen Xiang asked hurriedly. I know a bit. That place is indeed a treasure land filled with strange flowers and plants, but it is extremely dangerous, and and I could only reluctantly stroll around inside. Afterwards, we don't know why that place was frozen over, so we'll go take a look at those profound Bing. Maybe I'll be able to see something, the White Tiger replied. Chen Xiang was extremely shocked in his heart. Even the White Tiger did not dare to casually walk around, so the profound cold ancient realm was indeed an extraordinary place. Elder Wan led Chen Xiang and Li Baojun, followed by a large group of people. They arrived at a courtyard where there were many square or irregular round rocks, a total of dozens of them, with a variety of colors. After entering, many of the students were unable to endure the cold, and they had no choice but to immediately leave the courtyard and stand on a long corridor to watch. In order to avoid the cold air spreading out and affecting others, this courtyard was surrounded by a huge magic formation. Even young Master Ing and the few girls beside him couldn't withstand the cold air, retreating one after another. Chen Xiang and Li Baojun would naturally be fine, but that cold qi was indeed very strong. It was able to make people like them, who had strong flames, feel cold. Originally, there were more than 100 people who had followed him in, but there were only about 10 or so people who were still able to walk in the courtyard. Seeing Chen Xiang's simple and honest-looking face, everyone knew that he was someone who played the role of a pig and ate tigers, someone who could resist the cold air. Chen Xiang frowned. He tried to use his powerful divine power to see through the colorful profound Bing, but he was met with a huge obstruction. Leader, I can't see through you, but what about you? Li Baojun whispered to Chen Xiang. It's the same for me, Chen Xiang replied. Then, he asked the White Tiger, Senior, can you see what's inside these profound bings? The largest piece of the profound bing was like a coffin, and the smallest was half the height of a human. No, the white tiger's reply made Chen Xiang extremely suspicious. The white tiger immediately explained. Although I have obtained the heaven-earth killing method, I don't cultivate it much. I learned the beast-slaying method myself, and only then can I learn the essence. I only slightly dabbled in other aspects. The white tiger immediately explained. Although I have obtained the heaven-earth killing method, I don't cultivate it much. I learned the beast-slaying method myself, and only then can I learn the essence. I only slightly dabbled in other aspects. This kind of profound being is very strange, and the one who released this kind of cold energy is very strong. Adding on to that, the thing that is frozen inside produced a kind of energy, allowing these profound being to absorb more cold energy. In other words, the reason the things inside these profound being have made them strong and are unable to detect anything is so that they can protect themselves. Could the things inside be strange flowers and herbs? Chen Xiang asked again. Since Long Shui had not made any movements, she probably could not see anything either. I don't know. Can't you just take one and open it? The white tiger was very curious about these profound bings. The Elder One saw that Chen Xiang and the others were all silent. He looked at the profound being seriously and laughed. You are very powerful. I know that you all wish to get rid of these profound being, but I want to tell you all, these profound being are very difficult to break through. If you want to get rid of these profound being, you still have to buy them. These profound bings are rather special in the profound cold ancient realm. It took a lot of effort to get them out, and many people even died. Chen Xiang said, Are you planning to sell all these profound being that you don't know about? It seems like you guys are willing to pay a good price for it. That's right, this is something that we have sacrificed a lot to get back. The Elder One said. I think you guys forced others to go, who doesn't know about what you did in Heaven Thunder Purgatory. It's very normal for you to do such a thing in profound cold ancient realm. From the looks of it, he was an expert among rogue cultivators. The Elder One did not care about him and continued. Even if you go to the profound cold ancient realm, you will not be able to guarantee that you can find this type of profound being. You should have seen how powerful these profound being are. Chen Xiang asked, Are you really unable to open these profound being and see what's inside? The Elder One sighed. It's not impossible for it to melt. A senior from our Gold Sun Saint realm came over and used his immortal equipment to break it open. There really is something inside. It's a small piece of immortal jade. Celestial jades were a rare or that Serpa. Said spiritual crystals. There was a lot of rich immortal chi contained within, not many in the heaven realm. If that's the case, then why did you take it out to sell? Li Baojun was puzzled. There are a lot of good stuff inside. Because some profound being have nothing inside. A fragrant wind blew over, and the demon Empress LV Qinlian walked into the courtyard with two mature women who had the charm of the wind. Her face was covered with a thin veil, causing her extremely beautiful face to appear and disappear, making her look even more captivating. Of course, many rankers would choose to keep their breath and filter the fragrance off LV Qinlian's body to prevent themselves from being poisoned. LV Qinlian did not recognize Chen Xiang, but she was wary of him. At the same time, she felt that the white tiger was very dangerous, especially when they were close to the white tiger. She couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Even though she was shocked and fearful in her heart, she did not dare to look at the white tiger again. This woman has a very special spirit sense. She seems to have noticed something about me. The white tiger told Chen Xiang. She has a good relations. Hi+P with me. She's on her own, so you don't have to worry about her. After Chen Xiang finished answering the white tiger, he asked LV Qinlian with a silly smile, Does the Demon Empress have this kind of profound being as well? We got more than 10 pieces, and after great effort, we managed to break it open. Only one piece had something inside, but it was only an unformed immortal medicine, so it has some value, and all the shops are selling profound bings now. LV Qinlian was extremely fearful of the white tiger. He was extremely fearful, but he maintained a calm expression. Chen Xiang caressed these profound bing. He wanted to try and see if he could refine these profound bing into a pill. He felt that if it could be refined, it would also be a pill with a cold attribute. It was very suitable for cultivators with cold energy to eat. The Elder One laughed and said, "The little demon empress said just now, there might be good things inside, and the two of you have sharp eyes, that's why I recommended you to buy these things. You should be able to see what's inside from these profound bing. Isn't this just testing my luck?" Chen Xiang rubbed his hands and asked, "How much are the profound bing sold here?" Many people knew about the profound bing, but this was the first time they had heard of it being sold in this way. This piece of 20 billion spar, this piece is 30 billion, and this piece is a little bit 15 billion. This is mainly in terms of size because when these profound bing were formed, they were all fixed in size. The price that Elder One offered made many people curse in their hearts. To return with tens of billions of dollars to buy such a broken profound bing, it would still take a lot of effort to open it, and there was no guarantee that there would be something inside. LV Qinlian had also said earlier, only by breaking more than 10 pieces would there be something to be found. Furthermore, from her tone, she felt that she had just gotten lucky. If her luck was bad, the 100 pieces wouldn't even be worth it, wouldn't she die? These profound bing sellers could also earn money with death. Only with a lot of people buying the spar. Exactly. Don't be so ruthless. If there was an immortal medicine or a celestial jade in there, then we would definitely be able to make a fortune. The surrounding crowd discussed animatedly. Chen Xiang looked at a piece of blue profound bing, touched it, and felt that it was abnormally cold. He carefully looked at it, and did not see any traces of ice on it. He could tell that after this profound bing was formed, it had been sleeping in the profound cold ancient realm for tens of thousands of years, and would only see daylight once if it was dug out, but what exactly was frozen inside? And how did these multicolored primordial profound bing form? Even the white tiger was wary of profound cold ancient realm. Just what was happening there? Chen Xiang, the G.O.D. slain method might be able to help you figure something out. The white tiger suddenly said to Chen Xiang, "Didn't I tell you before? The killing G.O.D. heart is a rock that I picked up." At this time, Chen Xiang also wanted to use the G.O.D. slain method to do something, but unfortunately, he didn't have enough control over the G.O.D. slain method. That big white cat definitely hasn't learned G.O.D. slain method. I think our ancestors in the Imperial Dragon race created this 9-turn dragon G.O.D. mantra from the G.O.D. slain method, so we might as well try using the Chaos Divina in the 9-turn dragon G.O.D. mantra. The Long Shui, who had been silent for a long time, finally made a sound. It seemed that she could also not see through the contents of the profound bing. The 9-turn dragon G.O.D. mantra was not only there to help Chen Xiang cultivate his spirit, there were also many mystical techniques inside, such as the Chaos Divine Eye. Everyone saw that Chen Xiang was very interested in these profound bing. Previously, when they were outside, this guy, who was considered big and foolish, had caused Golden Yang Building to vomit blood. Although he had a simple and honest appearance, he must have some skills to be able to recognize the snow jade GRA.S.S. Everyone saw that Chen Xiang was very interested in these profound bing. Previously, when they were outside, this guy, who was considered big and foolish, had caused Golden Yang Building to vomit blood. Although he had a simple and honest appearance, he must have some skills to be able to recognize the snow jade GRA. LV Qinlian carefully glanced at the white tiger. The white tiger had changed its appearance before, so of course she wouldn't be able to recognize it. If it appeared with its original appearance, the Heaven Thunder City would definitely explode. because Chen Xiang had once used the white tiger's appearance to pass himself off as the great clan elder of the dragon subduing school. Chen Xiang said to the Elder One, "Can I take a closer look? I mean, using my own special technique, I'm very interested in these profound Bing." "Alright, do whatever you want." Elder Wan believed that Chen Xiang was a tyke. So he was very willing. Chen Xiang came to the front of a deep purple profound Bing. This profound Bing was shorter than him by a head, and stood upright in place, leaning against the courtyard wall. It released a purple cold qi, which could be considered the heaviest part of the cold qi. Chen Xiang took a deep breath, closed his eyes, only to see a gold light suddenly flowing out from between his brows, as though he had suddenly opened his eyes, and after seeing this scene, the people in the crowd started to stir, and started to shout in shock. Elder Wan's face changed. He was really worried that Chen Xiang would be able to see through it with this technique. At that time, they would be at a disadvantage again. Chaos Divine Eye. LV Qinlian was extremely shocked. She had just met a mysterious person with extremely strong powers, and seeing someone using such a strange technique that could cause a huge sensation even in the heaven realm made her think that Di Tian had already recovered to his peak condition. "Chen Xiang, can you see anything? This Chaos Divine Eye is from the G.O.D. Slain method. I truly regret not learning it back then." The white tiger quickly said, "No, I want to see a few more." After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he moved to another place, but it was not easy to execute Chaos Divine Eye. Chen Xiang came to the side of a square-shaped blood-red profound Bing. This profound Bing looked like a square stone table. He opened up the eye between his brows again, and used Chaos Divine Eye, shooting out a golden light. Everyone could see that when the golden light entered the profound Bing, it did not reflect the light. Chen Xiang continued to look at a few pieces, but his expression was currently not looking very good. With one look, he could tell that he had exhausted a lot of energy, and this Chaos Divine Eye, with just a few moves, had consumed a lot of his divine power. "I want this piece. How many spar?" Chen Xiang pointed to a grayish-black profound Bing and asked. The Elder Wan was a little nervous in his heart, but he had previously said that it was calculated based on size. Naturally, he did not dare to name a high price, as there were many people watching right now. 2,800,000,000 spar. Elder Wan hesitated for a while before saying. Chen Xiang immediately threw a storage bag over to the Elder Wan. Seeing this scene, everyone was emotionally moved, their hearts becoming more and more excited. They did not think that such a foolish person would actually buy a profound Bing, even though it seemed to be a little tricky. Everyone wanted to know what was inside the profound Bing, but they understood that the profound Bing was not that easy to open. "Elderly, cut this profound Bing open. It shouldn't be difficult for you to release your flame on the sword and saber." Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Li Baojun. Li Baojun immediately said, "Little friend, this profound Bing is hard to open, but I want to try. If it succeeds, you can immediately see if there is anything inside." Everyone was delighted. They just saw this old man concoct a batch of face-preserving pills so easily. He must be a very powerful fellow. "All right," Chen Xiang casually replied. The White Tiger, LV Qinlian and more than 10 other rankers in the courtyard all wanted to know what exactly was inside the courtyard. Li Baojun rolled up his sleeves and shouted out loud. A ball of flame suddenly appeared in his hand, which then turned into a red sharp blade, but many people could see that it was not forged, but condensed out of extremely dense flame energy. After Li Baojun created this blade, the cold energy in the courtyard was actually suppressed. However, it was only for a short period of time. This gray-black profound Bing was not small, and was as big as a water tank. If there was something small hidden inside, it had to be shattered, and if it was to be roasted by fire, it would easily damage the fragile things inside. Thus the profound Bing was not easy to break open. "Be careful, don't cut anything good," Chen Xiang reminded. Don't worry, I am here to refine pills. I have to be extremely careful when smelting medicinal herbs in the cauldron. Li Baojun said, then began to cut down. The blade formed from his flames was powerful as expected. The incomparably dy profound Bing was like tofu, and it was easily cut down by him. Just then, the black profound Bing suddenly trembled, then exploded into a pile of black ice crystals. There was nothing inside. The crowd was stunned for a moment before letting out waves of sighs. 28 billion just went down the drain like that. You dare to buy anything inside? The white tiger was very confused. Didn't you notice something? Li Baojun also asked Chen Xiang about this through sound transmission. Chen Xiang immediately responded. I saw through it, but it also exposed my chaos divine eye. If I see too accurately, then what if others don't let me buy it in the future? Li Baojun and the white tiger immediately understood that Chen Xiang purposely made others think that his third eye was useless. Chen Xiang immediately muttered, "What dogs? Hi+T inherited secret method, it's completely useless. Not only did it waste spars, it also makes me so tired." Seeing his expression, everyone secretly cursed the wastrel in their hearts. Their feelings towards spar were not important at all. If a normal person allowed these 20 billion spar to go for broke, they would definitely cry for their parents. The elder Wan let out a long sigh. In the eyes of many people today, Chen Xiang's chaos divine eye was only a feint, and everyone was rejoicing in his misfortune, while the people of the Golden Yang building were all smiles and smug, because they had sold a useless and broken profound Bing to an unbelievable high price. Just as everyone was planning to leave, Chen Xiang suddenly shouted, "No, I can't let this go to waste, I must earn back some money. Old man, wait a moment, you have to cut open the profound Bing for me. The moment there is a gap, these profound Bing will explode on their own, you don't need to waste any effort." Chen Xiang squatted down and put away the pair of profound Bing that had turned into crystal sand. He felt that these profound Bing were useful and at the same time, gave them to Bai Yuyu and Su Meiyao to study. What? His brain was kicked by a donkey. Just now, he suffered greatly, but his brain still didn't grow. There are really a lot of stupid spar. Where did this guy come from, a prodigal son? A man said. Seeing that someone was scolding Chen Xiang for having his head kicked by a donkey, the experts of Golden Yang building were immediately dissatisfied, and looked at the man with eyes filled with killing intent. Although they thought so, when the man said those words, Chen Xiang did not continue, but in their eyes, Chen Xiang was a sparite vein in human form, and was currently giving away the spar to the Golden Yang building. Seeing that someone was scolding Chen Xiang for having his head kicked by a donkey, the experts of Golden Yang building were immediately dissatisfied, and looked at the man with eyes filled with killing intent. Although they thought so, when the man said those words, Chen Xiang did not continue, but in their eyes, Chen Xiang was a sparite vein in human form, and was currently giving away the spar to the Golden Yang building. At this time, Chen Xiang bought a yellow profound Bing that was even bigger, with a total of 35 billion spar. Everyone felt that he was just messing around and did not use his third eye anymore, because he had never seen that yellow profound Bing before. Actually, Chen Xiang's mastery of the Chaos Divine Eye had already increased, so he did not need to open his third eye, because the third eye was the most powerful Chaos Divine Eye. Using his original 2 eyes was enough. He had already used the Chaos Divine Eye to look at this piece of yellow profound Bing, and did not notice anything strange, which meant that there might not be anything inside the profound Bing. "Old man, go ahead," Chen Xiang anxiously said as he tossed a storage bag to the Elder Wan. The Elder Wan was overjoyed. He had already forgotten about the loss of the Snow JGRAS. He believed that it had already gone back to normal. Li Baojun only used a finger that was as red as fire to lightly touch the yellow profound Bing, and it shattered. It was another pile of ice crystals as small as a pile of sand. Seeing Chen Xiang prying open that pair of sand-like ice crystals, everyone immediately sighed out repeatedly, at the same time laughing at Chen Xiang for throwing away another 35 billion spar. Leader, delivering the spar to Golden Yang Building, this isn't your style. Although Li Baojun knew that Chen Xiang was confident in being able to get something out of these profound Bing, he was still very uncomfortable in his heart. This was because Chen Xiang had already given the Golden Yang Building many spars for free. Don't worry, I will make them vomit all of it in a moment. Chen Xiang came to the front of a white profound Bing. This piece of profound Bing was extremely big, and looked like a huge bed. The price must be very high. This piece of profound Bing was something Chen Xiang had not seen before with his third eye, so everyone now believed that Chen Xiang was just fooling around. This one. Chen Xiang patted the profound Bing. It's so big, there must be something inside. How many spar? 100 billion. The elder Wan's voice trembled with excitement, and he had even raised the bid a little. Chen Xiang frowned. How could he not see that the profound Bing's price had slightly increased? He said, Elder Wan, all of you know the rules of the bet? The kind that play with Destiny Box, use the broken herbs inside to refine them into pills. Not only will you gift the ingredients, you can also waive the cost of buying the Destiny Box. The Elder Wan nodded his head. Of course I know, if we fail to refine the pill, you have to give us another set of spar. Chen Xiang laughed. That's it, how about we play like this too? If there is something inside this profound Bing, not only will you give me back my 100 billion spar, you will also have to give me another 100 billion. If you don't have anything, I'll give you another 100 billion. Chen Xiang took out another storage bag and threw it on the ground, telling everyone to pour their spiritual sense in. Chen Xiang's wealth shocked many of the young people, and they all wanted to gamble. The Elder Wan hesitated. He looked at the few experts, saw that the experts nodded, and immediately nodded. All right, I will play with you. Making the guests happy is the main theme of our Golden Yang Building. Everyone all agreed that it would be worth it if someone as foolish as Chen Xiang didn't scam him. Chen Xiang said to Li Baojun, Old man, let's do it. If you win, I'll give you 10 billion. Li Baojun believed that there must be something inside this huge profound Bing. If not, Chen Xiang would not play like this. His fingers gently touched the huge white profound Bing, and everyone's heart skipped a beat. When they saw that the profound Bing had turned into ice and scattered on the ground, they all held their breaths. Just as Chen Xiang was about to go and rummage through the ice crystals, the Elder One said, Wait, we can't let you go inside with us to search for this. This is a gamble, we need to give a fair certificate. Why don't we let the Demon Empress handle it? I wonder if the Demon Empress can give us some face? LV Qinlian nodded his head. I am willing. LV Qinlian waved her hand, and the pile flew up into the air after all, floating in the air, separated into different pieces. From afar, it looked like a plus mirroring curtain with nothing to be seen, which meant that the inside of the gigantic white profound Bing was empty. Looking at this scene, the peerless beauty sighed. Sir, I have let you down. Everyone exclaimed, because not only did this foolish big guy spend 100 billion to buy a pile of white sand, he also lost 100 billion. 200 billion spar entered Elder Wan's storage ring just like that, and if they were not here, Elder Wan would definitely laugh maniacally. Leader, what are you doing? Li Baojun replied to Chen Xiang painfully. Don't be so anxious. If you win, you can only win a little. Do you think that's enough? Last time, when we tricked the 1 trillion spar in Dan Alliance, even they felt that it wasn't enough. Thus, I did it on purpose. Otherwise, how would they be willing to bet more? The Demon Empress is my friend. When the time comes, all of you should cooperate a bit, and we will scam him to death. Chen Xiang replied Li Baojun and the White Tiger with his sound transmission, dispelling their confusion. He never thought that Chen Xiang would actually be so sinister. Of course, Li Baojun knew that when Chen Xiang had used the name of the good Manly, he had already used this move, and he was already at the peak of perfection. Elder Wan, count these few pieces, I want them all. Chen Xiang pointed to a large piece of profound Bing in the corner. He must have had a Qigong deviation, right? This kid must be crazy. This isn't the way to use many spar, it's so good to give it to me. Every year, idiots appear. This year, there are even more, and they are even more foolies. Plus, this idiot gave another spar to me. Elder Wan coldly looked at the noisy crowd and asked them to quiet down. This group of people were giving him spars. If they talked too much, Chen Xiang would go back on his words. A total of 520 billion, I'll give you a discount, just 520 billion. Right now, Chen Xiang was the god of fortune in his eyes. He wanted to get a luxurious chair for Chen Xiang to sit on, and arrange a few beauties to sage his back and legs, to entertain Chen Xiang with the spars. Chen Xiang scratched his chin. There's really a lot. Didn't you guys just use the method of betting pills to play with me? Sir, as far as I know, many powers would have to break through hundreds or even hundreds of profound Bing in order to obtain something from it. Demon Empress, that's not right. If this young master was lucky, maybe he would be able to get something good soon? The Elder Wan interrupted LV Qinlian, but he did not reply to his question. This time, Chen Xiang wanted to buy 9 profound Bing at once. If he could get something out of them, then all the profound Bing that Golden Yang Building had previously earned would go back to Chen Xiang. This time, Chen Xiang wanted to buy 9 profound Bing at once. If he could get something out of them, then all the profound Bing that Golden Yang Building had previously earned would go back to Chen Xiang. Everyone also understood why Chen Xiang bought so many at one go. Wasn't it all for the sake of flipping a book? This was very normal. In the gambling den, many gamblers did the same thing, but not many succeeded. Elder Wan was too complacent, he forgot the item. 1. Tai of the Demon Empress, and recalled how he interrupted LV Qinlian earlier. He could not help but be worried. LV Qinlian was also a little angry in her heart. She glared at Elder Wan. This young master is giving you guys so many spar for free. Are you afraid now? The people of Golden Yang Building were indeed worried. If Chen Xiang really got lucky and managed to get anything out of the profound Bing, they would really die. We agree. Since this little friend is so generous, how can we be so petty? An old man with a white beard and white hair walked over and spoke with a booming voice. It's the Golden Yang Building of the Golden Yang Building, S.H.I. plus Fengrong. He's finally appeared, no wonder. After all, this is a huge matter. If that stupid big guy turns the tables, Golden Yang Building will cry. This old man was the Dan King in charge of Golden Yang Building, so his authority was naturally lacking. The fact that Golden Yang Building agreed so readily was outside of Chen Xiang's expectations. He had originally planned to let the Demon Empress step out and think of a way to make the Golden Yang Building gamble with him. If you want to bet, fine, but you have to first buy these profound Bing for us 500 billion, then prove that you have 500 billion. To be honest, he didn't want to bet at all. Chen Xiang laughed and threw out 2 storage bags, each holding 500 billion spar. One was used to buy the 9 pieces of profound Bing, the other was used to gamble. This was exactly 1 trillion spar. If he lost, it would be equivalent to giving everything to Golden Yang Building for free. However, if he won, not only would he get the best things from the profound Bing, he would also be able to win back everything he lost previously. Alright, let's begin then. At the same time, he said to LV Qinlian, wait a moment, I still have the Demon Empress to be our notary to check on the powder. LV Qinlian nodded in agreement. She knew a lot about profound Bing, and there was a group of them who did not break it. Furthermore, there was an ancient treasure within the profound Bing, which was something that many great powers had obtained from the profound Bing. Li Baojun focused his sky fire on his finger, and at this time, Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to him. Elderly, leave that disc-shaped green profound bing for last. Li Baojun immediately understood that the profound bing must have something inside. After the first profound bing was broken, there was nothing inside, which made everyone very disappointed. Many rogue cultivators looked forward to see Golden Yang Building suffer a big loss. The second piece was light purple in color, but it still contained nothing. Third, fourth, fifth. It was only until the eighth piece that LV Qinlian let out a long sigh. Many people thought that Chen Xiang had definitely lost this time, although there was still one more, but no one believed that there was anything inside. They had heard LV Qinlian mention it before. There were some large powers that had broken through hundreds of profound bing, and there were no items inside. The last piece. The people of Golden Yang Building were also very excited, because the last piece of the green profound bing's cold chi was very weak. It looked like there was nothing inside, and it was relatively small. In the eyes of many, this was a piece of inferior profound bing. The people present did not think that this profound bing would have anything good, and many people sighed. Just as everyone's eyes were focused on Li Baojun's finger, Chen Xiang suddenly said to LV Qinlian, "Big Sis Lu, I'm Chen Xiang, do me a favor. Immediately bet on your partic. 1p Asian." LV Qinlian's shoulders trembled slightly. She was extremely shocked inside, but she immediately calmed down and did not look at Chen Xiang, but instead shouted out, "Wait!" Li Baojun had just extended his hand out when he immediately stopped, because Chen Xiang had already greeted him. "What's the matter?" Chen Xiang immediately asked. He knew that LV Qinlian had already understood his thoughts. "Young master, I want to gamble with you too. Do you have any more spar?" LV Qinlian said faintly. Li Baojun immediately laughed. "Demon Empress, you are in the wrong. I am about to lose right now, then you say you want to bet." "Exactly." The White Tiger quickly added, "I also want to join right now, but that's not too kind." Chen Xiang laughed. "How about this, since I have already gone all the way, if I lose, I will compensate you with half of the wager, and if I win, I will take all of yours, what about that?" "Little brother, don't do such a stupid thing, you can't be so wasteful even with so many spar." Li Baojun tried to dissuade her. "What does your old man know? Why would this little brother reject the Demon Empress, this peerless beauty? Since ancient times, it has always been a hero feeling sad for a beauty. Even if you want to lose, you can't refuse a beauty, ha ha. It's a pity that we're not beauties. Otherwise we could still take part in the bet." Chen Xiang immediately shouted, "Everyone, if you want to bet, that's fine, but I will only accept stakes that are over 200 billion. LV Qinlian laughed. "Young N. Obli is straightforward indeed, I bet 500 billion. Chen Xiang immediately transmitted to Li Baojun and the White Tiger, "Brothers, smash him hard for me, Golden Yang Building will definitely follow you." Just like Chen Xiang had guessed, HI plus Fengrong and the other higher-ups of the Golden Yang Building couldn't hold it in anymore and started to discuss whether they should follow him. "Little brother, that means this old man only needs 200 billion? Li Baojun smiled. "Then I will not be courteous anymore. People die for money, birds die for food. Even if little brother lost, from today on you are still the old man's friend. It is rare to have a gambling friend like you. I will also bet 500 billion. I wonder if little brother still has a spar on you? A little more, it should be enough." Chen Xiang laughed. It seemed that he planned to lose to the end. He was not worried at all. "Only a little more? It seems that I was too late." The White Tiger shook its head and sighed. Everyone was shocked. These guys were truly spendthrift, but these people were powerful. This was normal. Although there are no spar, you can use something to replace them. "I can take a Eternal Dan," Chen Xiang said. "Let's add another 1 trillion and bet on your Eternal Dan." HI plus Fengrong shouted loudly, "Whether you win or lose, little friend, you are a VIP guest of our Gold Sun Saint Realm. Regardless of victory or defeat, Young master is still a distinguished guest of our demon charming AAS association. LV Chinlian's charming and gentle laughter was extremely soul-stirring, causing people to be unable to help themselves from envious of Chen Xiang. Now, everyone understood the intentions of this foolish big guy in front of them. Even if they lost, it would be worth it to be able to get to know so many powerful people, especially the powerful spirit demons of the Demon Charming A Association. ***. Now, everyone understood the intentions of this foolish big guy in front of them. Even if they lost, it would be worth it to be able to get to know so many powerful people, especially the powerful spirit demons of the Demon Charming A Association. ***, and it was very hard to become friends with Dan King like Li Baojun. Then I'll begin. Li Baojun laughed. His face had a pleased smile. Everyone thought that he was going to win, which was why he was laughing so shamelessly. Li Baojun's trembling fingers touched that piece of profound Bing. At that moment, everyone held their breath, especially the people from Golden Yang Building. As long as they could reach that point, they would be able to determine whether they had won or lost. Many people wanted to stop at this moment because they too wanted to take part in the bet, but they did not have enough spars. Li Baojun's finger, like red-hot iron, lightly tapped on that piece of green profound Bing. In that instant, everyone gulped their saliva, and also at that instant, that green profound Bing exploded with white light. Seeing this array, everyone's heart stopped. This was clearly the light of a treasure being born. Chen Xiang had actually turned the tables on the last piece of profound Bing. Many people could not believe it, because Chen Xiang had won far too many. After the white light flashed, everyone waited for the profound Bing to break. Inside, they saw a palm-sized green rock with many spirit grains densely packed on it. At this time, many people suddenly shouted out, and sat on the ground with their hands clutching their heads. These people had used their spiritual sense to search for this green stone, but for some reason, their heads suddenly hurt, as if they were about to explode. Hee, I've won. Chen Xiang laughed and picked up the green stone. LV Chinlian sighed. If you're willing to admit defeat, then take it. She was only cooperating with Chen Xiang's acting, and Chen Xiang would return it to her afterwards. 2 trillion spar. After Chen Xiang took Li Baojun and LV Chinlian's spar, he looked at Hi plus Fengrong and the others. They had completely lost, so it was only natural that they would give up to spar Chen Xiang. After all, if they were even willing to admit defeat while betting on the Demon Empress, how could they, the group of men, lose? And there were still a lot of people watching. The other 100 billion were the spars that Chen Xiang had bought from these profound Bing. In the eyes of the audience, the spar were all fools, but now they had earned around 3 trillion wildly, which was something that could only be obtained by a large power mining a lot of mines. Of course, what they were most curious about was what exactly was that green stone inside the profound Bing. Not to mention those who were weaker, even those who believed that they were not weak, would have a splitting headache if they used their soul consciousness to look at that rock. What is this? Li Baojun held his head and walked over, even he was not spared. It's a great way stone, also known as the philosophic stone. It could be said that it was a stone that could comprehend the great Tao itself. Although it did not have any power in it, its comprehension of the great Tao was beyond ordinary. It could even be said that this stone was a sole possession of the great Tao. As long as you hold this stone in your hands, you will be able to comprehend the great Tao of nature with half the effort and twice the effort. His face was filled with shock. He did not expect that the profound Bing S would actually contain the thing he had been bitterly searching for all these years. After this incident, the matter with the profound Bing would probably become famous. It could actually get something like it from the inside that helped people to defy the heavens. Even in Heaven Realm, this philosophic stone is a priceless treasure. LV Chinlian took a deep breath, and didn't dare look at the philosophic stone anymore. Only those who possess philosophic stone can use it. When the group of Golden Yang Buildings people heard it, their faces turned even more green. They truly regretted not breaking these profound being open and selling them like this, giving them to others for almost 3 trillion without a use, and even losing the chance to obtain this philosophic stone. Chen Xiang immediately dripped his blood on the profound sky sect master, only to see the philosophic stone releasing a strange green glow that enveloped the entire courtyard. In that moment, everyone felt a very strange feeling. That kind of feeling was hard to describe, and it was also this kind of feeling that made them feel like they were suddenly enlightened. Previously, when they were struggling with their cultivation, they had been able to solve it easily. Many people thought that if they went back to cultivate, they would be able to break through their bottleneck. This philosophic stone was indeed a rare treasure. If the Golden Yang Building knew that the profound Bing had this thing, even 100 million spar would not sell it. This made S.H.I. plus Fengrong and the others wish that they could immediately S.N.A.T.C. H it, but they did not dare, because the little demon empress was here. There are so many profound Bing here, name a price. Chen Xiang swept his gaze across the profound Bing in the courtyard. Looking at him, he knew that he was going to kill them all in one go. Since he had just defeated so many spar and he was a rich person, it would definitely not be a problem for him to swallow all the profound Bing. You guys don't want to sell it? Chen Xiang shook his head and laughed. Then forget it, if it was me, I wouldn't sell it now either. When LV Qinlian saw the people of the Golden Yang Building being tormented by Chen Xiang to such an extent, he could not help but laugh. The possibility of a treasure being taken out of a profound Bing is very slim. It has a very large element of luck. If we are unlucky, even if we break through over 1,000 of them, I'm afraid there won't be a single item. The profound cold ancient realm is very vast. There are millions and thousands of profound Bing inside, but the treasures are probably only as rare as phoenix feathers and Qilin horns. S.H.I. plus Fengling took a lot of effort to make himself look better. After some thought, he said, "My friend, we are not going to sell it, unless you offer a very high price. No one can deny that our profound Bing can produce treasures, so it is normal for us to raise the price temporarily." How much? Chen Xiang asked. 3 trillion spar. S.H.I. plus Fengrong's words made many people secretly look down on him. It was not because they did not want to sell, but if Chen Xiang could get good stuff out of the remaining 10 profound Bing their Golden Yang Building would be better off. Chen Xiang shook his head. 5 trillion spar, I want them all. Are you selling them? No. 8 trillion. Chen Xiang said again. S.H.I. plus Fengrong suddenly thought that Chen Xiang could tell if there was something inside the profound Bing or not. That's why he kept bidding. I just said, I want 3 trillion, S.H.I. plus Fengrong said. Seeing Chen Xiang continuously raise the price, everyone else felt the same as S.H.I. plus Fengrong. They felt that Chen Xiang possessed the ability to watch over profound Bing, which was why he had decided to buy all the profound Bing here. 1 trillion. Chen Xiang frowned, and his tone was slightly anxious. He could tell that 10 billion was already his baseline. Everyone started to become suspicious. Just what kind of background did this idiot have, to have such shocking amounts of spar? Even the Tong Tian aristocratic family and Xing domain wouldn't be able to take so many out so quickly. Not selling, and we've decided to break these profound Bing apart now, unless you can take out 30 trillion, S.H.I. plus Fengrong said resolutely. If the prices for these profound Bing in the backyard of Golden Yang Building were right before, it would at most be over 1 trillion, and now that someone offered 10 billion to buy these profound Bing, they would definitely be able to see that there were treasures in them. As long as they were not crazy, they wouldn't be sold out at this time. If the prices for these profound Bing in the backyard of Golden Yang Building were right before, it would at most be over 1 trillion, and now that someone offered 10 billion to buy these profound Bing, they would definitely be able to see that there were treasures in them. As long as they were not crazy, they wouldn't be sold out at this time. This old sir, I wonder if you can help us break these profound bing? He was a Dan king and could see that Li Baojuan's flames were extraordinary. In this period of time, Three Realms talk was going to start. It was not strange for many reclusive experts to come out. After all, this piece of land was Tian, who once stood above all the 10 great lands of the 9 heavens and 10 great earth. Elderly, just help them out, there's nothing inside these profound bing. Qin Xiang's joyful voice rang in Li Baojuan's mind, causing him to secretly admire Qin Xiang. This made Golden Yang Building's heart ache even more. Li Baojun immediately took action, because there were a lot of profound bing here. His speed was very fast. In just a few moments, he had already counted all the profound bing here. All of the profound bing broke into pieces and turned into piles of ice crystal powder. The people from Golden Yang Building carefully checked the powder, trying to find a bird from it. 1 trillion spar, if I sold it just now, I would be at a loss to that big dumb guy. Golden Yang Building is too unlucky. They're going to die from heartache, they must be very regretful. Why didn't they break open the profound bing back then? Why didn't you sell all of the profound bing here to me back then? When LV Qinlian saw the pleased look in Qin Xiang's eyes, he exclaimed in his heart. Others say that their demon charming associations women are extremely beautiful and gentle, but are actually as poisonous as a snake or scorpion. Looked simple and honest at the moment, but her heart was unfathomably dark. She felt that compared to Qin Xiang, the demon charming associations poison spirit was like a sky and an earth. Furthermore, after Qin Xiang tricked her, the others didn't even know what had happened. What a pity. The next time a new profound bing comes, I will definitely come again. Qin Xiang looked at those elders whose faces were filled with dejection, let out a long sigh, and then turned around and walked out. Young master, can you show me some face by going to my residence? LV Qinlian said softly. His voice was extremely flirtatious, causing people to look at him with fire and envy. We are extremely honored. Qin Xiang laughed. Actually, LV Qinlian wanted to take back the 500 billion spar. She was a little worried about this fellow Qin Xiang. She was afraid that she would be tricked by him and be unable to react. Qin Xiang bade farewell to Li Baojun and the White Tiger, then left with LV Qinlian. At the same time, he had also destroyed his plan of following Qin Xiang around the Golden Sun Xing domain. Along the way, he saw many beautiful and seductive bewitching girls. Each and every one of them were extremely enchanting and dressed in thin clothing, their snow-white bodies still releasing a fragrance. When looking at people, their lovely eyes seemed to be able to hook away their souls, making Qin Xiang wish he could live here forever. Seeing Qin Xiang's naughty expression, LV Qinlian snorted and warned him with her eyes. She knew that Qin Xiang was not an easy person to deal with women, and was worried that her demon charming association demons would be harmed by Qin Xiang. Back when Qin Xiang was trapped in Heaven Thunder Purgatory, she had already seen how anxious Lu Meng'er, Dongfang Xinyue and Hua Xiangyu were. At that time, she was also very surprised, especially towards Lu Meng'er, who was Xue Xianxian's and Ling Yolan's master. After LV Qinlian withdrew all the spirit demons from the 3rd floor, he stretched out his jade-like hand. You can give it back to me now, right? TSK, who do you think I am? Would I lack this much spar? Qin Xiang tossed the storage bag over. He was very familiar with LV Qinlian now, and he used the magical corruption gas and LV Qinlian to exchange for the holy lotus seed. Why are you so restless right now? You made such a big scene in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory just now, why didn't you just hide properly and come out to cause trouble? LV Qinlian said sternly, as if she was a big sister reprimanding her little brother. I came out to cause a ruckus. How could I possibly have such a great harvest? Qin Xiang laughed. LV Qinlian took off her veil, revealing her elegant and beautiful jade face. Snorting softly, she poured Qin Xiang a cup of tea. Even though she was the demon empress, She had always been very polite to others and did not put on any airs. Furthermore, the feeling she gave others was that of a refined girl, gentle like water. Now that she and Chun Xiang had gone through that transaction once again, their relations, H.I.+P. was extremely deep. It was probably because they felt that their most fatal secret had already been discovered by the other party that they acted in such a manner. Of course, after the two of them got to know each other, there was also a sense of trust. "Can you let me see that philosophic stone?" LV Qinlian sat down and smiled at Chun Xiang. "I never thought that you would actually understand something like the Chaos Divine Eye. Can you use the Chaos Divine Eye to see what's inside?" Chun Xiang took out the philosophic stone and handed it over to LV Qinlian's jade palm. When he retracted his hand, he even gently stroked her soft and smooth jade hand, causing LV Qinlian to fiercely glare at him. "If I said I couldn't see it with the Chaos Divine Eye, would you believe me?" Chun Xiang laughed. "I don't. You played such tricks in the Golden Yang building, and you expect me to believe you?" LV Qinlian held the philosophic stone tightly and looked at the spirit grain above. She sent her consciousness inside, and was immediately shocked in her heart, because it seemed as if there was an endless sea of spirit grain inside. Every single spirit grain contained a large amount of information, and that was the power of the natural way. My demon charming South Association is very close to the profound cold ancient realm. After the three realms talk SES, can you come to the demon charming Association? LV Qinlian returned the philosophic stone to Chun Xiang. "I won't treat you badly." Chun Xiang understood what LV Qinlian meant. If LV Qinlian wanted to let him see the profound being, her demon charming Association must have obtained a lot. You know about my wealth, Big Sis Lu. It's not easy to bribe me." Chun Xiang laughed. "You already called me Big Sis Lu, can't you give Big Sis some face?" LV Qinlian pouted. "I can make a trip to the demon charming Association, but you have to do something for me." Chun Xiang's face suddenly became serious. "Speak." LV Qinlian's beautiful eyes flickered. "No matter what happens in the future, we must ensure that the Chun Martial Continent area does not get attacked by any powers. Even if your demon charming Association were to be hostile to me in the future, you have to guarantee the safety of that place." Chun Xiang said. "Even if I don't do anything, your master can still protect that place." LV Qinlian frowned. She did not understand why Chun Xiang asked her to do this in such a serious manner. Chun Xiang shook his head. "Chun Martial Continent is not simple, there are many hidden secrets. Right now, I am not sure what kind of shocking secret is hidden there, but I am sure that not long from now, many of the stronger powers will find out and plan to go there." Chun Xiang shook his head. "Chun Martial Continent is not simple, there are many hidden secrets. Right now, I am not sure what kind of shocking secret is hidden there, but I am sure that not long from now, many of the stronger powers will find out and plan to go there." 4 symbols divine weapons had appeared on top of the Chun Martial Continent. There was a Sage to the core of the earth, there were super old fire beast Long Shui, this white dragon was born from there, and there was also the world he was born in. "Alright, I promise you." LV Qinlian nodded his head. "Our demon charming Association has always been part of the alliance led by Huang Jintian. This will benefit us all." "Big Sis Lu, how long will you stay in Dtian? You won't be able to go back after a while?" Chun Xiang asked. LV Qinlian smiled sweetly. "I don't plan to go back now. The entire demon charming Association has been secretly moved down by me. We plan to build a solid foundation with Dtian and scratch it with our bare hands. When Dtian is completely reborn, our demon charming Association will be the strongest." "This isn't good." Chun Xiang frowned. "Why?" LV Qinlian did not understand. I just think that when the time comes, a new great emperor will be born. When the time comes, the strongest amongst you will be the one that this great emperor fears the most. Either take you in or annihilate you. LV Qinlian's face immediately turned serious. Don't tell me you're not the new 10 Heavens Supreme Lord? Chen Xiang shook his head, falling into deep thought. After a long while, he finally said, although I have obtained the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's inheritance, this does not mean that I am the new great emperor, because I only inherited the legacy of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, even if I can Serpa the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, I can't become a new great emperor. Do you understand? The new great emperor simply did not have the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's legacy. He had his own powerful divine arts and weapons, as well as his own powerful subordinates. If he wants to become the new great emperor, he must break all of the inheritances of the original great emperor. At that time, he will definitely exterminate all of me. Is there such a person? LV Qinlian had never thought about this issue before. Many people believed that Chen Xiang had obtained the inheritance of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, and that his fame had spread to the heaven realm, and many people believed that as long as he continued his growth, he would be able to become a new 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Yes. Do you think that wanting to become the great emperor of the 9 heavens and 10 earth is enough to annihilate those powers? Big Sis Lu, although you are a ranker in heaven realm, are you sure that you are very strong yourself? Chen Xiang shook his head and laughed. LV Qinlian immediately thought of the white tiger she met before. She felt like she was an ant being kneaded by the white tiger. She rarely felt that kind of powerlessness, even when she met the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord before. Looks like I'll have to put in a lot more effort in the future if I want to become an expert from the 9 heavens and 10 earth. LV Qinlian sighed. If Di Tian had recovered to how he was back then, Imperial Dragon Race would have definitely come up. This is a strong race that can control all 9 heavens and 10 earth. The strength of the Imperial Dragon Race was not to be underestimated. Chen Xiang suddenly laughed. If I knew earlier, I wouldn't have chatted so much with you. I should have gone to all the shops to buy Profound Bing S. Who would dare to sell it when they see you? LV Qinlian chuckled. Who would recognize me if I changed my appearance? Chen Xiang stood up. I'll go first. After 3 realms talk, I'll go to Demon Charming A.S. Association. After exiting the Aroma Pavilion, Chen Xiang immediately changed his appearance and ran towards a nearby big shop that was run by the Purple Moon Imperial Land. Originally, there were Profound Bing S that were being sold inside, but after knowing that there were people who were selling Philosophic Stone S, the shops all broke these Profound Bing S apart, so they wanted to try their luck. Before, LV Qinlian had said that if one wanted to obtain treasures from the Profound Bing, they could only try their luck. With good luck, a few Profound Bing could obtain treasures. Many people were looking for that simple and honest big guy. Although he had gone to the Demon Empress place, he wouldn't stay for long, and LV Qinlian had also said that he had already left the pavilion long ago. Li Baojun and White Tiger had also changed their appearances. When White Tiger and Li Baojun looked at the Philosophic Stone, they took it and sent their consciousness inside, and just like LV Qinlian, both were immersed in a world of spirit grain that resembled an ocean. Other than that, they did not have any other gains. Leader, you have dripped your blood on it. Could it be that only you can use it? Li Baojun returned the Philosophic Stone back to Chen Xiang. I don't know. I don't know how to use it now either. Chen Xiang looked at the White Tiger. Senior, you don't know how to use it either? How should I know? I had been searching for it for a long time, but I couldn't find it. All of these things are legends, but there are people who have obtained them before. This will depend on luck. The White Tiger shook its head. This kind of thing is pitifully few in number. Legend has it that the natural way of life only gave birth to 91 pieces, and in the entire 9 heavens and 10 lands, that's all. In those heyday, the strongest guys far exceeded this number. Holding the philosophic stone, Chun Xiang once again immersed his consciousness inside. Just like before, all he saw was an endless sea of spirit grain. All kinds of curved and profound spirit grain swam about, forming a single S-P-A-C. Just at this moment, Chun Xiang realized that although these spirit grain were swimming around chaotically, they were not moving alone. Some of them were moving together, while others moved together in the millions, forming groups. How does the philosophic stone actually work? Wasn't it supposed to allow people to comprehend the power of the great Tao of nature? Why can't I feel it at all? Chun Xiang muttered in his heart. He once again tried to use his divine power to control the spirit grain inside, but to no avail. But this time, he realized that when controlling a single spirit grain, he could move that spirit grain a little. He immediately understood that if he wanted to control the movement of the spirit grain, he would need a very strong and powerful divine power. He immediately poured a large amount of G-O-D power into it and concentrated all of it on controlling one spirit grain to move. It was effective as expected, but it only moved slowly, and it also consumed a lot of G-O-D power. Just as he moved the spirit grain some distance away and changed its trajectory, a group of dozens of spirit grain suddenly charged over, fusing the lone spirit grain into them. Could it be that the correct way to use all of the scattered spirit grain is to combine them together and make the philosophic stone complete? Chun Xiang's heart was moved. Vote. Chun Xiang kept the philosophic stone. He already had a few ideas on how to use the philosophic stone, but that would require him to train in seclusion for a while before he could finish the vast project. Chun Xiang kept the philosophic stone. He already had a few ideas on how to use the philosophic stone, but that would require him to train in seclusion for a while before he could finish the vast project. Leader, there are a lot of people looking for you outside. That philosophic stone is truly too rare. Li Baojun was not exaggerating at all. Many of the branches of the large powers that were stationed in the profound cold ancient realm all received orders to look for the profound being in large numbers. That place isn't for fun, just let them go. In short, I don't want to go in again. It seemed like he already had a shadow over that place. This was also the thing that made Chun Xiang the most surprised. He really wanted to know what exactly made the white tiger so afraid. The craziest way to find Chun Xiang was probably because they wanted to dig up the entire Heaven Thunder City to see. They had suffered such a huge loss, and they did not even know who had made them suffer such a loss. The white tiger and Li Baojun were walking around the city, while Chun Xiang was studying the powder of the profound being in his room. Although the color of these profound being are different, and the cold energy they emit is also different, there isn't much of a difference overall. After turning into ice crystal powder, every grain's mass is the same. As for whether or not I can successfully forge a pill, you can give it a try. Bai Yu said. From the intense cold chi these profound being released, it was extremely useful, but she was unable to use any of them. Chun Xiang threw a pile of profound Bing particles inside and injected it into the flame. It immediately caused him to be greatly shocked, because his flames were unable to melt these profound Bing. Even if Shui uses her fire, it won't melt. I'm afraid that even Li Baojun's will not be able to melt them. At most, they will just be shattered into pieces. Bai Yu sighed. I tried to use the cold chi inside to devour, but to no avail. Let me burn it again. Chun Xiang used his strongest firepower to burn the profound Bing particles inside the Yanlong furnace, and also urged the array inside the Yanlong furnace to speed up the incineration process. 4 hours later, Chun Xiang stopped his incineration. He poured out all the ice crystal particles from the Yanlong furnace, but not a single one of them melted. Furthermore, after he burned them with his strongest firepower for 4 hours, the cold air coming out from these particles became even more intense. What exactly are these profound Bing? The hotter it gets, the colder it gets. Chen Xiang grabbed a handful of ice particles, and the cold immediately drilled into his body, which was something that had never happened before. Just when he thought he could absorb the cold air, something unexpected happened again. The cold air that just entered his body suddenly returned to those particles, and even brought back some of his energy. Chen Xiang immediately scattered all of the ice particles on the ground. In just an instant, he lost a lot of energy, and even though the ice particles released a very strong cold energy, he was still able to keep the cold energy in a certain range. He used the cold energy to drag in more spirit energy, and then continued to emit the cold energy. These strange profound Bing granules actually had this kind of heaven-opposing cultivation method, which caused Chen Xiang to be extremely shocked. This is a very strange thing, its ability to reproduce itself is very strong. I can promise you, if you throw away this small grain, many years later, a huge profound Bing will appear. And when this piece of profound Bing is attacked by a very strong power, it would immediately turn into a pile of tiny particles, and then dissipate along the wind. After many years of self-cultivation, those countless tiny particles will definitely turn into countless pieces of profound Bing. Bai Yu already had a basic understanding of these profound Bing, and he speculated about their method of reproduction. If a tiny profound Bing floated onto a few strange flowers and herbs, it can let these strange flowers and plants thrive and grow, and at the same time, condense into profound Bing for protection. In other words, the treasures within the profound Bing were all because of the many tiny particles that suddenly fell from the profound cold ancient realm all those years ago. No one knows what happened after that, but these tiny particles all grew into gigantic profound Bing. At that time, there were many treasures being protected inside, and there might even be corpses or even corpses of people inside profound Bing-s. When Chen Xiang was in the Golden Yang building's backyard, he took away all of the profound Bing's granules. Although he couldn't use these ice granules, he still thought that these were treasures. I don't believe that these things aren't worth it. Chen Xiang looked at the ice particles that were releasing cold air and released one of them to cover the pile of ice particles on the ground. It could refine everything. This delay skill was terrifying even to the White Tiger, and was something that caused the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord to be killed. He circulated the heavenly alchemy in his dantian and ignited the flames, causing the flames to be released in a specific way within the heavenly alchemy, creating a strange type of firepower. He injected the flames into the magic method furnace, burning those particles. Not long after he used the heavenly alchemy, the granules suddenly released a ray of multicolored light, looking like a pile of golden sand. The golden light was sparkling, causing Chen Xiang to be extremely happy. "It's working, haha." Chen Xiang became excited and continued to burn these crystals, using the heavenly alchemy. There's a change. Bai Yu was the same, but she suddenly saw the fire-baked particles inside the magic method furnace shrinking together. What's going on? Chen Xiang frowned and looked carefully. Although he could make these particles glow, he could not melt them. A moment later, the pile of grains fused into a single grain the size of a grain of rice. Seeing this, he continued to take out more profound Bing granules and place them all inside the magic method furnace, using the heavenly alchemy to refine them. He had collected dozens of pieces of profound Bing's granules, and there were quite a few of them. However, he had only used an hour to melt all of the profound Bing's granules into rice-sized white-colored ice crystals. I've been busy for so long, but I still haven't figured out how to use it. Chen Xiang looked at the pressing cold white particle in the center of his palm and couldn't help but let out a long sigh. He took out the philosophic stone and looked at these two things helplessly. These two things were both extremely mysterious and had a lot of power, but he did not know how to use them. He sighed, and just as he was about to put away the profound Bing, the rice-sized profound Bing suddenly flickered with a red glow, and the philosophic stone also emitted a weak green glow. These two things unexpectedly resonated with each other, shocking Chen Xiang yet again. Welcome to the website. Read the latest chapter in full. Chen Xiang immediately held onto the philosophic stone tightly and channeled his divine power into the beast that was the size of a grain. At this moment, he suddenly felt a type of extremely destructive cold energy from the profound being, and it was even a very strange energy. Chen Xiang immediately held onto the philosophic stone tightly and channeled his divine power into the beast that was the size of a grain. At this moment, he suddenly felt a type of extremely destructive cold energy from the profound being, and it was even a very strange energy. Previously, he had tried to use his divine power to spy on these profound being, but they were all blocked outside. Now, after taking out the philosophic stone, he could actually clearly see the inside of the profound being, and he could clearly feel the quality of the energy. Through the philosophic stone, Chen Xiang could now see what kind of character the profound being had. Seal, destroy. Chen Xiang did not know why, but all of these informations suddenly appeared in his mind, and he felt that it was something that could only be seen through philosophic stone S. What does that mean? Bai Yu asked curiously. I think it should be some kind of powerful strength that specifically used these profound being to kill something that was difficult to destroy. First, it released a strong sealing power, and then, during the sealing process, it gradually released a destructive power. Chen Xiang said. Could it be that there was something very powerful in the profound cold ancient realm back then? So they were destroyed by this power? It seems like those profound being all contain a very strong power of the natural way. Su Meiyao said. You should wait until you are stronger before heading to profound cold ancient realm. That's right, the profound cold ancient realm has many terrifying things, but these profound being cannot destroy those things. It seems that not long from now, those things will be resurrected. Chen Xiang released the magic method furnace, threw it inside, and then activated burning fire. I don't know why, but only by holding on to the philosophic stone can I deal with it. Chen Xiang was very confused. Now that he held the philosophic stone, he could burn it like it was a normal thing. The profound being released waves after waves of white-colored light. The profound being was not as stubborn as before, but now that Chen Xiang was using the heavenly alchemy, it was as if it was refining a normal thing, and was refining the profound being into a pellet. These profound being are indeed mysterious. They don't need to be compressed in any way to melt into small pellet. What I want to do now is to refine these profound being into edible pellets. Chen Xiang was currently trying very hard. The reason he could see the mysterious power within the profound being was also because of this mysterious power, which was difficult for the profound being to see through. If not for the philosophic stone and the heavenly alchemy, it would have been difficult to deal with these profound being, and all of them were missing. But now, the strange powers of those profound being were being separated by him, and he saw those powers as the power of nature, because after separating, they immediately disappeared without a trace. After the magical power within the profound being was separated out, Chen Xiang's expression immediately changed, because he felt that the intense ice power inside the profound being went out of control. It was originally the combined power of dozens of profound being, but now, without the magical power controlling it, it suddenly exploded. Chen Xiang released his divine power to suppress it, but the ice-cold qi was too dense. It was not something he could suppress with his current strength. This is trouble. Chen Xiang was shocked. He never thought that after so many profound being lost control, they would actually produce such a dense ice-cold qi. Can it be swallowed? Bai Yu asked anxiously. I can't. There's too much of it. Furthermore, it's too muddy to directly refine. Chen Xiang sweated profusely. If I don't control it, Heaven Thunder City will become an ice city. A radius of 500 kilometers will turn into a world of ice and snow. I never thought that profound being would actually contain so much ice-cold energy. After dozens of large profound being were compressed into a single piece by me, they became even more powerful. That was equivalent to squeezing a mountain's immense and violent strength into a single point, and then releasing it to explode. Its might was boundless. "Brat, what are you doing?" The white tiger fiercely rushed into Chen Xiang's room and broke through a door. It looked at the ball of white mist and ice energy within the magic method furnace, and its eyes revealed a trace of fear. "Senior, I'm going to lose control of this ball of energy. Hurry up and think of a way." Chen Xiang was ecstatic and anxiously shouted. At this moment, Li Baojun also felt the terrifying destructive power from the white mist. He estimated that if Chen Xiang let go now, everything within thousands of miles would turn into a world of ice and snow. The white tiger's palm cleaved through the air, creating a black spatial rift. "Throw your stuff in!" the white tiger shouted anxiously. Chen Xiang immediately threw the ball of air that was about to lose control into the spatial crack, and in that instant, the spatial crack suddenly closed, and the ball of terrifying cold energy exploded outside the dimension. However, the entire Heaven Thunder City suddenly turned chilly, and the temperature plummeted. Chen Xiang collapsed to the ground. If he could not control himself, he would have been in for a beating as well. "How did you do that?" The white tiger let out a long sigh. "When I refined and fused the pieces of the profound being, it became like this. At the beginning, I easily refined all the pieces into a single pill, and then I separated some of the energy out of the stone and became like this," Chen Xiang said. Chen Xiang took a deep breath and continued, "I feel that I can refine these profound being into a pill. This time, I'm only using too many of them." He was very confident in the heavenly alchemy. The white tiger sent a sound transmission to him. "Were you refined using the heavenly alchemy? Then be careful." "Why? I am not a river refiner," Chen Xiang asked curiously. "Back then, H.I. tried to refine this stuff, which was why he started stirring up trouble. I can't say too much about this, or I'll be in trouble. However, I do not object to you refining, because you have done better than H.I. Back then, H.I. was still unable to do what you have done now," the white tiger told Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang nodded his head. The white tiger only told him to be careful, which meant that he could still refine the pill. Elderly, where does the city have profound being? Did not have any more profound being in his hands anymore, so thinking about the previous ones, he felt that it was a pity. But this also allowed him to have a deeper understanding of these profound being. He planned to gather more profound beings and make them into a small pellet. Li Baojun shook his head. Because philosophic stone can appear within these profound being, so the current profound being are all very expensive, and are all sold by weight, with 1 kilogram and 100 million spar. Only the ones that are to be formed are bought, while the ones that are to be broken are worthless. Chen Xiang could imagine that in the future, there would be many fragments scattered within Dtian. After many years, those fragments would become profound beings. Not only that, there is another job called the icebreaker job at profound cold ancient realm. Breaking through a piece of profound being can get 100 million spar. The white tiger looked at Elderly and laughed. If Elderly makes a trip to profound cold ancient realm, I can definitely earn a lot more easily, faster than refining pills. Not only that, there is another job called the icebreaker job at profound cold ancient realm. Breaking through a piece of profound being can get 100 million spar. The white tiger looked at Elderly and laughed. If Elderly makes a trip to profound cold ancient realm, I can definitely earn a lot more easily, faster than refining pills. Li Baojun shook his head and laughed. If Leader were to go, he would definitely earn more than me. He can tell whether there is anything inside the profound being or not with the help of the profound being. Chen Xiang only wanted to use those profound Bing to refine pills, the earth profound pills needed to swallow the earth, and the mysterious 10,000 moons pill needed a large number of mountains and rivers. If he refined too much, it would be punished by the heavens, so Chen Xiang did not dare to play around with them anymore. The temperature of the Heaven Thunder City dropped suddenly, the cold chi pressing down. It shocked many of the strong warriors here. They all thought that the giant who cultivated the power of ice exploded with power after his breakthrough. Although it surprised many people, it did not cause too much of a commotion. Chen Xiang, Bai Hu and Li Baojun were just about to go to the place where the Heaven Thunder Purgatory had disappeared from, when the earth suddenly shook violently. A surge of energy came from outside the city. It was the direction where the Heaven Thunder Purgatory had disappeared to. This power is very strong. Chen Xiang's expression changed slightly. Quickly go over and take a look. Just as Chen Xiang finished speaking, many rankers in the sky, who did not care about the restriction of flight, started flying out of the city, all flying towards the direction of the surge of energy. Let's go as well. The white tiger leapt up and followed closely behind the group of people, with Chen Xiang and Li Baojun following closely behind. After reaching a high altitude, many people saw that on the ground below where the heavenly lightning whirlpool had once appeared, a hole as large as a city had appeared. A burst of white light was plusing out from below. No one dared to go near because that force was too powerful. They were separated by several hundred zhang as they stood in the air, looking at the thing that was rising from the giant pit. At this time, when Chen Xiang saw the expressions of the ancient powerhouses, he was actually very excited. In the midst of the crowd, a beautiful figure that Chen Xiang was familiar with suddenly appeared. It was Ji Meixian. Ji Meixian followed closely behind the leader. At this time, her position in the White Sea Imperial Land was very high. She was herself a ranker from the Heaven Realm, and her strength had risen quickly. She also had Zhao Yiprofound, the super-strong female slave, to provide her with resources, and Chen Xiang had also given her many benefits. Fairy Beauty, it's me. What exactly happened? Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Ji Meixian, causing him to be slightly surprised. She immediately searched for Chen Xiang within the crowd, but did not discover him. Ji Meixian and Zhao Yiprofound knew that Chen Xiang was about to establish a sect called Dragon Subduing School. When the Dragon Subduing School's reputation rose, they all felt very surprised, especially the Dragon Vane. Leader, your current situation is very dangerous. All the ancient powers have sent powerful experts from the Heaven Realm with strength similar to Ling Feng's. At that time, they might even encircle and annihilate our Dragon Subduing School. If they were to see you here, it would be even more troublesome. Ji Meixian did not answer Chen Xiang's question. Instead, he was extremely concerned about Chen Xiang's safety. I'm not afraid. Tell me what happened. Chen Xiang was using Heaven Tour method to explore the hole that was emitting the white light, but he was blocked by a force. Furthermore, the white light inside the huge pit was slowly floating. At this time, the demon Empress LV Qinlian, Huang Jintian, Gu Dongchen, Lu Menger, Hua Xiangyue and other rankers familiar with the place had all arrived, and they all looked at the gigantic pit with grave expressions. Ji Meixian replied, My current status is already very high in the White Sea Imperial Land, but they still hold some reservations towards me. Yixian might know a bit more, but she's already in the Heaven Realm, so it's hard for me to contact her. Tell me what you know. I know this is an altar, called Sacred Sacrificed Altar. Ji Meixian said, That's all I know. Chen Xiang immediately sent a sound transmission to the White Tiger. Senior, do you know anything about the Sacred Sacrificed Altar? It really is the Sacred Sacrificed Altar. Could it be that they want to use the Sacred Sacrificed Altar to summon a Saint Devil? The White Tiger's voice carried a sneer. What is a Saint Devil? Hearing this name, Chen Xiang felt that it was powerful. A powerful existence between G.O.D.S. and immortals. Humans are called saints, demon beasts are called saints, sages or demon beasts are called saints. This thing is many times stronger than the demon lord. Hearing the white tiger's explanation, Chen Xiang was stunned. The heaven thunder devil lord that he killed earlier had suffered heavy injuries, and its power was so terrifying. He had expended a lot of effort to kill it, but if another holy demon appeared, wouldn't this group of D Tian be done for? Senior, are you saying that those ancient powers want to bring out a saint devil? Chen Xiang asked in shock. Is there such a fellow in the 9 heavens and 10 hells? Chen Xiang suddenly felt that this white tiger was a holy beast, this kind of existence. I will not let this saint devil be reborn. The white tiger's words made Chen Xiang feel a lot more at ease. Huang Jintian seemed to know something as he immediately shouted towards the ancient powers, UBAST, your ancestors were all BAST, ARDS. Other than knowing how to collude with this kind of thing, what else can you do? You guys will definitely bring disaster to D Tian by doing this. Humph, if we don't do that, we will be the ones to suffer. Feng Quan from the Feng clan sneered. The people who brought out this sacred sacrificed altar were really from an ancient power like them. Chen Xiang really wanted to know who these traitors had colluded with before? Of course, he guessed it was a saint devil, but that saint devil was defeated in the end and was about to die. Now they had to revive a saint devil. Looking at the happy faces of the traitors, the corners of Chen Xiang's mouth twitched as he chanted the heavenly dragon seal's incantation. Little naughty dragon, quickly tell me. One is powerful, and can keep my heavenly dragon seal hidden. Chen Xiang anxiously asked. He also stopped chanting the incantation, because if he used it, his ident. 1. Tai would be exposed, and now that news of his ident. 1. Tai had been spread to the heaven realm, his previous battle records were all here, and many of the heaven realm experts knew that he was using the Imperial Dragon race's heavenly dragon seal. Even if you use the strongest heavenly dragon seal now, it will be useless. Your strength is too weak. This sacred sacrificed altar is not that easy to destroy, but I can still damage it. Long Shui sighed softly. Let me teach you another technique that I don't want to teach you. You little colored dragon, taking advantage of me like this, you actually have a powerful ability that you won't teach me. Chen Xiang said with dissatisfaction. At this moment, the altar had already floated up. It was extremely large, and from afar it looked like a city. It emitted a white glow, and its shape was that of a huge circular plate. I won't teach you, it's for your own good. A human who uses this move will be hunted down and killed by the Imperial Dragon race. With your current strength, if you were to be targeted by the Imperial Dragon race, the big white cat won't be able to treasure you. Long Shui scoffed, however. Since you still have some methods to protect your life, I'll take the risk and teach you. Let me explain in advance. If you get targeted by those old dragons of the Imperial Dragon race because of this, don't blame me. I won't teach you, it's for your own good. A human who uses this move will be hunted down and killed by the Imperial Dragon race. With your current strength, if you were to be targeted by the Imperial Dragon race, the big white cat won't be able to treasure you. Long Shui scoffed, however. Since you still have some methods to protect your life, I'll take the risk and teach you. Let me explain in advance. If you get targeted by those old dragons of the Imperial Dragon race because of this, don't blame me. Cut the C.R. AP, I even sent you to the Imperial Dragon race's Sky Dragon Great Yenjing. What's there to be afraid of? My dragon lady wife, hurry up and teach me. Chen Xiang laughed and said without the slightest bit of embarrassment. Who was it that you sent? That is only in terms of the divine soul. Long Shui pouted. I am a heavenly dragon supreme lord. How can I casually let a human kid get involved? As she said that, she had already said down the common God secret method to Chen Xiang, and her figure summed that the abilities that the Imperial Dragon race had learned were based on the God slain method and its comprehension, and should be further improved upon. Chen Xiang's foundation was very solid. Furthermore, Long Shui used that strange secret method to pass his techniques, so he could understand it very quickly. This is too scary. This should not have been refined from the heaven-earth killing method. Chen Xiang's heart was thumping wildly. After hearing about the divine ability, he was deeply shocked. Who knows? In any case, I haven't used it yet, but your current strength shouldn't be enough. Otherwise, I won't be able to use the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse. The Chaos Dragon Curse was the name of that sacred art. After using this sacred art, it could convert the energy gathered from the surroundings into chaotic force, and then form a type of curse that could unleash extremely powerful energy. Come on, let's combine, Chen Xiang said excitedly. At the same time, his mind quickly practiced the method of unleash. Plusing the ability a few times. Sensing Long Shui's energy surging over, Chen Xiang's eyes suddenly opened. After using the sacred art, the innate qi and God power in his body suddenly surged out, penetrating through the SPAC and appearing in the air above the sacred sacrificed altar. They quickly formed into a ball of air. The ball of air had many spatial cracks around it. The tyrannical energy in the disordered SPAC frantically rushed out and gathered in the ball of air. At this time, the surrounding spirit energy was gathering towards the black ball of air. Its speed was extremely fast. Even the sacred sacrificed altar's energy was being absorbed, and 90% of the power and divine power in Chen Xiang's body had already been sucked out, leaving him only able to float a little. Seeing this scene, the expressions of the ancient powers giants changed greatly. They didn't expect something like this to happen, and they didn't even know who had acted in such a way. The White Tiger looked at Chen Xiang because he recognized that it was a Primal Chaos Dragon Curse. It was a very powerful attack that even many of the orthodox bloodline Emperor Dragons in the Imperial Dragon race wouldn't be able to learn. Ugh! A deep dragon's roar came out. The sky above sacred sacrificed altar suddenly split open, revealing a very large black hole, inside which was the chaotic SPAC. The chaotic energy inside rushed out crazily and condensed into the black ball of air. Destroy that thing! The big boss reacted and quickly shouted. But it was already too late, because the black ball of air had already cracked open, and countless black dragon shadows appeared, enveloping the land, causing the world to sink into darkness. But in a very short period of time, the dragon shadows converged, forming a few incantations, suppressing towards the sacred sacrificed altar, and bringing along a low but sufficient imposing chant that sounded like several dragons chanting at the same time, causing the entire land to sink into a destructive atmosphere. It's the Chaos Dragon Curse. LV Qinlian was extremely shocked. She knew more than anyone else. It's that brat again. Isn't the little white dragon trying to harm him by sing on the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse to him? Ji Meixian blamed Long Shui in her heart. She was from the Imperial Feather race and knew about the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse. The black incantations seemed to have the power to destroy the heavens and earth, as they struck down directly onto the sacred sacrificed altar, causing it to sway violently. There were even some shallow cracks appearing on the surface of the sacred sacrificed altar. Everyone could see that someone was secretly attacking the sacred sacrificed altar, and this person was very strong, so he had to hide here. The duration of the chaotic dragon curse's attack was very short, and it disappeared in an instant. The SPAC cracks in the sky closed, and the world returned to its original state. Everyone was still immersed in the shock from before. The giant crater was also sealed by a mysterious power. Although it was attacked by Chen Xiang just now, it was after all a sacred sacrificed altar. Furthermore, Chen Xiang and Long Shui's strength was too weak. If this was the case, then the ancient factions would have to start repairing them. That little white dragon really isn't afraid of your death. It's Pa said down this kind of sacred art to you. The white tiger laughed. Hee, I told her to teach me. Chen Xiang laughed. You guys are still too inexperienced, and your might is too weak. If an old dragon were to use it, this sacred sacrificed altar would definitely be torn to pieces. The white tiger sighed. You don't have to care too much about this sacred sacrificed altar. I will stop them. At this time, Ji Meixian also sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. There are many old fellows here who are watching you. When you were sparring with others before, many people saw the heavenly dragon seal you used. If Imperial Dragon Race knew that you knew about the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse, he might even come to Dtion to look for you. It would be best if I could send a dragon over. As a leader, I am specialized in dealing with dragons. Chen Xiang didn't mind at all, and this was something that Long Shui was very much looking forward to. Humph! Ji Meixian was a little angry. She felt that Chen Xiang should keep a low profile and increase his strength, before going back to fight against the other powerhouses. After he as sacred the demon masters, many of the higher-ups in Heaven Realm had noticed him, but most of them wanted to capture him, because he had the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and he also knew about devil-suppressing holy power. Chen Xiang was now a dead pig that was not afraid of boiling water. He had already been targeted by many people. He would not stop at one thing and would not hesitate to do the opposite. LV Qinlian swept the crowd with her gaze, wanting to look for Chen Xiang. She knew that Chen Xiang was hiding inside, and she knew that Chen Xiang understood the Imperial Dragon Race's secret technique, so she was sure that the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse was cast by Chen Xiang. This made her suspect that Chen Xiang was a member of the Imperial Dragon Race. To think that he actually knew of this Emperor Dragon's sacred art, which was almost lost throughout. After the white light from the sacred sacrificed altar disappeared, the big shots of the ancient powers all flew over, and they even stopped many people from getting near. Only the ancient powers like them could not get close to them. After the sacred sacrificed altar was attacked, the ancient powerhouses were very angry, because this would cause their plan to be delayed for a while, and now they were all pouring energy into the altar. After the sacred sacrificed altar absorbed their energy, it once again emitted a white light to repair itself. After the sacred sacrificed altar was attacked, the ancient powerhouses were very angry, because this would cause their plan to be delayed for a while, and now they were all pouring energy into the altar. After the sacred sacrificed altar absorbed their energy, it once again emitted a white light to repair itself. Senior, if you had acted just now, you would have definitely destroyed this sacred sacrificed altar. Just now was the most fragile time for this sacred sacrificed altar. Chen Xiang sighed as he transmitted his voice to the white tiger. If I were to make a move, I wouldn't be able to accompany you to enter the Three Realms talk, and even I would have to use a lot of strength to completely destroy this sacred sacrificed altar, but that would expose my ident. 1. Tai, so I can't let the people who are hiding know that I'm still alive right now. The white tiger said. Other than the Peach Blossom Imperial Land, the other ancient powers and sects all came to the side of the sacred sacrificed altar. Those ancient powers in the past were all traitors of the past. If I find out anything related to the altar, I will immediately inform you. Don't attack this sacred sacrificed altar anymore, it's useless. Ji Meixian whispered to Chen Xiang. Many people felt bored when they saw that it was a work of the ancient forces, and quickly left. However, there were also many people who noticed that the ancient factions were planning to do something, and they were going to do it with the help of the Three Realms talk. Let's go. They still have to repair sacred sacrificed altar, they won't be able to open it for a while. I think they should at least be after Three Realms talk. The white tiger transmitted its voice to Li Baojun and Chen Xiang. Afterwards, the three of them also left and returned to their residence. It won't be easy for the sacred sacrificed altar to open. I should need some offerings or something like that. When Chen Xiang thought about offerings, he had a bad premonition. In his knowledge, offerings at powerful altars like these were all made of blood. I need something special. I think all of those traitors should have it. If it's using a person's life as a sacrifice, then we definitely can't spare them. The White Tiger said, I don't think they will revive the Saint Devil. If the holy demons were to descend, they would be under the control of the holy demons as well. They are currently living a carefree life, and do not wish to be enslaved by others. There were still 10 days before the Three Realms talks start. It was said that there would be events that would be held when one approached the Three Realms talk. Chen Xiang had been using the philosophic stone for the past few days, and now he realized one of the uses of the philosophic stone, which was to circulate his technique and allow the innate qi to circulate in his body at a much faster rate. This philosophic stone could allow him to train at a much faster rate than before, allowing him to more thoroughly integrate into the divine arts, allowing him to be able to understand the natural way even more. Leader, there's good news. Li Baojun knocked on Chen Xiang's door and shouted excitedly. What good news? Chen Xiang opened the door and asked. When Profound Bing came, finally someone sold them, and it was by auction. There will be an auction later on to sell Profound Bing. Li Baojun said. Will anyone buy it? Chen Xiang found it funny. He didn't even know if there was anything inside those Profound Bing-s, but they were actually being auctioned off too. They were competing with each other until their heads bled, losing a large number of spar. Of course there are many OONs have always wanted to try their luck, and get their own Profound Bing-s to test their luck, but you also know that these Profound Bing-s are not something normal people can get their hands on. Only those large powers have enough manpower and resources to mine in the profound cold ancient realm, and of course some powerful rogue cultivators would go in to find them. Li Baojun said. Then let's go take a look. And the Great Clan Elder? Chen Xiang asked. The Great Elder has occupied a seat inside. We can't reveal our ties right now, so we can't get a VIP box. Chen Xiang and Li Baojun quickly arrived at the entrance of the auction house. The place where the auction was held was actually the property of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and the person selling the Profound Bing was actually the Purple Moon Imperial Land. The admission fee was very expensive. It required 10 million spars each, but Li Baojun had already paid them before, so they could enter with a single plate. The position that the White Tiger occupied was in the front row, which made it easier for Chen Xiang to look more carefully. I heard that the Profound Bing being auctioned is not simple. They are not the kind that we have seen in the Golden Yang building before, so they attracted a lot of people. It is said that the Profound Bing being auctioned now has a very high chance of producing treasures. The White Tiger looked at its surroundings, then sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. The sacred sacrificed altar is almost completely repaired, and the big shots of the ancient powers are all here. You have to be careful, don't expose the chaos divine eye. Chen Xiang nodded, releasing his divine power, and kept watch on his surroundings. Oh yeah, one of the clan elders from the Purple Moon Imperial Land said, if we buy the Profound Bing here, they will help us break it. That clan elder also said that in order for the Purple Moon Imperial Land to gather information on the Profound Bing, we must break it on the spot. The White Tiger said, this isn't good. Chen Xiang was confident that he could use the Chaos Divine Eye to see if there was anything inside the Profound Bing. Senior, you and Elder Li can go to the seats at the back. Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Li Baojun and the White Tiger. This way, the three of them would be able to bid for the 3 Profound Bing-s and not be targeted. Otherwise, if they wanted to leave, it would be troublesome. Everyone, quiet. The auction is about to begin. A handsome middle-aged man walked onto the stage and said loudly. There were a lot of people at the auction place, especially those sitting below. There were more than 20,000 people, and there were also quite a few in the private rooms. The Profound Bing that we are auctioning today is very unique, and is very different from the profound being that everyone knows about. Furthermore, there is an extremely high possibility of treasures appearing inside. That's why we all need to be mentally prepared. We, the Purple Moon Imperial Land, are not responsible for this. The middle-aged man said. Buying a profound being was equivalent to gambling. Everyone knew that it was interesting to buy one. Bring the first profound being up, the middle-aged man said, only to see 4 people carrying a square table. The profound being on top of the table was covered with a cloth. It looked extremely mysterious. The middle-aged man laughed. Everyone be prepared, this profound being is very dazzling. As he said that, he pulled the cloth away, releasing a burst of white light. At that moment, everyone felt pain in their eyes, and some of them even started to cry. The glow of the profound being had dimmed down by a lot. Everyone could now see what kind of profound being it was. It was a huge, snow-white lotus with white clouds swirling around it. It was incredibly holy, as if it were carved from snow-white jade, but it seemed to have been formed naturally. It was vivid and lifelike, and although it gave off bursts of chilliness, people could feel that this white lotus was giving off a true life of its own. This lotus-shaped profound being was not small, it was like a bathtub. When people first saw this profound being, they all thought that there was a treasure inside. No wonder the Purple Moon Imperial Land took it out to auction. This lotus-shaped profound being was not small, it was like a bathtub. When people first saw this profound being, they all thought that there was a treasure inside. No wonder the Purple Moon Imperial Land took it out to auction. When the middle-aged man saw everyone's surprised gaze, he immediately said, "We don't know if this profound being was formed naturally, but in short, it was dug out by our people deep within the profound cold ancient realm, and it was like that back then. Everyone knows that profound being are very strdy, but they aren't unbreakable. As long as the profound being is stimulated strongly, it will shatter and turn into tiny ice crystals. Many people should have seen it in the Golden Yang building back then. Therefore, there was no suspicion of forgery. We don't know if there are any treasures inside, but we felt that there might be some inside the profound being, so we sold this opportunity to get lucky. The higher the price, the better it would be. 30 billion spar. Someone had already begun calling out prices. 50 billion. 70 billion. Right now, only the people sitting in the hall were bidding so intensely. It could be seen that there were many rich people gathered in Heaven Thunder City. Chen Xiang had already secretly opened his Chaos Divine Eye, and the power of his divine eye was in his eyes as he carefully looked at the Lotus Profound Being. When he first saw the Profound Being, he thought it was very likely that there were treasures inside, because this profound being was truly too strange and mystical. 39 billion. Unknowingly, Chen Xiang had already observed that the price had already soared to this high point, and the people in the private rooms hadn't even started to bid yet. Leader, should we bid? Li Baojun also believed that the possibility of the profound being possessing such a treasure was extremely high. Chen Xiang did not answer because he was not completely sure. He carefully observed the profound being over and over again, and after a while, he confirmed that there was nothing inside the profound being. 800 billion. The people in the room finally called out a price. 830 billion. This was actually a woman's voice, but many people knew the voice of the Demon Empress. LV Qinlian's real body was like a lotus flower. If she took action, everyone would suspect that she had sensed something, which caused the bidding to become even more crazy, especially the big shots in the private rooms. At this time, the people in the main hall were no longer able to intervene, because the bidding quickly said 1 trillion. Furthermore, the main compet. 1. Tor was the little demon empress, LV Qinlian. Big sis Lu, if you trust me, then don't continue. There's nothing in this thing. Chen Xiang whispered to LV Qinlian. You're actually here? As expected, LV Qinlian did not increase the price. She knew that Chen Xiang could use the Chaos Divine Eye to see if there was anything inside, and she did not plan to increase the price among the other profound being. If I don't have enough spars, lend me some, Chen Xiang replied with a smile. This was a ranker who came down from the heaven realm. There were no spar on the heaven realm, but after he took charge of the Flying Immortal School, all of the spar in the Flying Immortal School were under his control. Hong Kong came to the auction platform. After handing over the spar, he let an old man from Purple Moon Imperial Land break it. The elder gathered all of the flames on his finger and made one of his fingers turn purple. The flame was burning purple and dancing in the air. It looked very hot. It was just that he was covered in sweat and was not as relaxed as Li Baojun. It's about to begin. This made Hong Kong so excited that his face turned red. He felt that even if it wasn't the philosophic stone, it should be something similar to it, and he opened his eyes wide and stared at the white lotus profound being that was slowly shattering. Very quickly, the beautiful white lotus profound being turned into a pile of tiny ice crystals on top of the table. Hong Kong waved his sleeve, and all of those crystals floated into the air. Hong Kong, who was initially excited, now looked as if he had eaten a fly as his expression became extremely unsightly. He had given 130 billion spar to the Purple Moon Imperial Land for nothing. The crowd burst into an uproar as they secretly laughed in their hearts. Thank you, good brother. LV Qinlian sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang and giggled. You're welcome. That made many people vigilant. The people from the Purple Moon Imperial Land knew that the next bidding war would not be this high, so no one wanted to compete like Hong Kong. Unfortunately, Leader Han, please do your best. The middle-aged man smiled apologetically as he consoled her. What a cheat. Han Kang's face turned green. Did she still want him to come again? The auctioneer coughed dryly and continued. Next, bring the profound Bing up. The second piece of profound Bing was much worse than the beautiful white lotus profound Bing from before. This made everyone curse the shamelessness of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and they placed the best part in front to scam others. Although this piece of profound Bing was not as big as the previous one, it was still very strange. It was a half-man-tall gourd, and the purple and golden clouds were changing back and forth. The only bad thing was that the surface of the gourd was bumpy, and it did not look pretty at all. This is the second profound Bing. It was found in a large crevice deep in the profound cold ancient realm, and is even harder to obtain than the previous white lotus profound Bing. Furthermore, there are two colors that change between each other, so it's very possible that a treasure will appear. The middle-aged man talked about the origins of the profound Bing. Keep talking. The idiot will believe it again. It's exactly the spar that was wasted to come in. I'm so disappointed. Not bad to be able to see someone cheated for over 1 trillion ink stones. Our luck is very good. Because he was unable to see the inside of the profound Bing, and did not know how to see if there was anything inside, the most basic basis of determining the profound Bing was its appearance. Otherwise, that beautiful white lotus profound Bing would not have been SNATC head away by so many people. The appearance of such a rough profound Bing had attracted a lot of criticism. With a single glance, one could tell that it was not easy to sell. After the auctioneer boasted for a while, he said with a smile, the starting bid is 100 billion spars, each bid increase must be no less than 100 million. Everyone, please bid. Seeing everyone's attitude, they had no choice but to set the starting price. Otherwise, they would lose their lives. With that experience, many people became obedient. 1 billion. Chen Xiang shouted. Hearing Chen Xiang call out a price, both the White Tiger and Li Baojun were startled. They never thought that this unremarkable profound Bing gourd would actually have something inside. LV Qinlian also wanted to see what was inside the bottle gourd profound Bing. After Chen Xiang called out the bid, it was quiet. Although someone wanted to try their luck, with the scene of Hong Kong suffering, coupled with the 100 billion spar, many people gave up on the idea. Even if they tried their luck, they would at least need to find a decent profound being. The host gently sighed and shouted, "Deal, please allow this friend here to deliver the spar, then we will break the profound being on the spot." Watching it without any ads was awesome. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Chen Xiang never thought that no one would snatch the profound being away from him after he yelled out the price. To be able to obtain it at this price was far beyond his expectations. Is there really a treasure inside this profound being gourd? LV Qinlian, White Tiger and Li Baojun immediately asked him via sound transmission when they saw him walk onto the stage. Long Shui, Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu, who were still in the ring, also asked, "My Chaos Divine, I cannot completely see what is inside, it only has a shadow inside, so it might not be a treasure but something else," Chen Xiang replied as he took out a storage bag and handed it over to the auctioneer. The old man responsible for breaking the profound being walked over, held out the purple flame on his finger, and extended his hand towards the profound being. At this time, many people stood up to watch. Although the profound being did not look like much, it was after all a piece of profound being. Moreover, it was rather strange with two different colors changing between each other. At that moment, Chen Xiang's eyes became extremely sharp. Like lightning, he reached out his hand and grabbed towards the pile of shattered pieces, and many sharp-eyed people already saw that there was a light blue stone within the pile of ice crystal fragments. Although it was only the size of a walnut, it gave off a very unique feeling, as if it was a huge mountain. Chen Xiang grabbed the light blue stone in his hand and shouted fiercely, because that stone was very heavy. If he did not react, he would not have been able to grab it. "It's the void heavenly stone. It's actually so big," an elder in the private room exclaimed. It was said that a nihility god stone the size of a grain of sand was equivalent to the weight of a mountain and was extremely stur dysprosium. If a nihility god stone was added in during the refining process, it was very likely to become a high-quality immortal equipment. It really is the void heavenly stone. Seeing how much effort it took to lift it, it was definitely correct. I heard the green dragon demon-slain broadsword's blade was made from this sort of thing. A heavenly stone the size of a grain of sand can be sold for an astronomical price in the heaven realm, let alone such a large one. The big shots in the room were all sighing and jealous of Chen Xiang. They saw how easily Chen Xiang kept the void heavenly stone into the storage magic treasure and knew that Chen Xiang had an extremely powerful storage magic treasure. This kind of person was definitely not someone to be trifled with. Ling Feng, who was in the Purple Moon Imperial Land, was currently green in the face. She had been in the heaven realm for a long time, so she naturally knew how precious a heavenly crystal was, and that was something that couldn't be evaluated. Especially for those large powers, having such a heavenly stone meant that they could refine a high-quality saint artifact. Chen Xiang was very excited to receive the void heavenly stone, but he calmly walked back to his seat, as if nothing had happened, and calmly sat there. Even if someone beside him wanted to get close to him, he would not care. Many people were extremely jealous of him, because he only used 100 billion spar to buy such a huge piece of void heavenly stone. What kind of dog HI+T luck was this? Many people extremely regretted not bidding just now. The upper echelons of the Gold Sun Sacred Realm were finally much more balanced in their hearts. Although the heavenly void stone was not more valuable than the philosophic stone, they were still inexplicably happy when they saw the expressions on the group of Purple Moon Imperial Lands. Everyone has seen, our Purple Moon Imperial Land's profound being did not fake anything, everything depends on luck and luck. This old mister just now used 101 billion spar to obtain such a large sky stone. The host forced a smile. He had known earlier that the price would be even higher, but he did not. The second piece of profound being made a divine stone like the void heavenly stone, making the Purple Moon Imperial Land not want to continue auctioning it. He wanted to break all the remaining profound being, but he would definitely be despised by many people. The third piece of profound Bing was brought up. This piece of profound Bing looked much better than the previous bottle-gourd profound Bing. It also had a shape. It looked like a tiger lying on the ground, only it was grayish-black, but its surface was extremely bright, and there was a cold chi on the surface. It looked somewhat evil, and its size was also very big. There are no treasures inside the profound Bing. You can't just look at its outer appearance. Just a bottle-gourd profound Bing is an example. The host saw that everyone was hesitating and continued to speak. If you want to obtain the treasure, you must first fight for it, like that old mister just now. You are not stingy with the treasures, and buy that unremarkable bottle-gourd profound Bing, and in the end, you will get an incalculable heavenly stone. The starting price is 150 billion, and each bid increase must not be lower than 100 million spar. Starting now. Then, Chen Xiang immediately called out a bid, 1,522 billion. When everyone saw that it was this lucky star calling out a price, they immediately started bidding, because Chen Xiang gave off a very calm and collected feeling. Looking at him, he looked like an expert. Everyone did not understand anything about these profound Bing, so when they saw Chen Xiang bid, they also followed along. LV Qinlian sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang, because Chen Xiang's bidding was very fierce and fierce. Every time he bid, it would bring in billions of treasures, and it would also attract many strong people from the private rooms. No treasures, I was just toying with them, Chen Xiang replied with a smile. After being together with Li Baojun for a long time, they knew Chen Xiang's tricks, so they could tell that Chen Xiang was purposely misleading others. Moreover, Chen Xiang had said before that if the second profound Bing with a treasure appeared, he would absolutely not buy it himself. The more Feng Quan looked at it, the more he felt that there was a treasure inside the Black Tiger profound Bing. Feng Quan was currently in charge of the Feng clan that had been tormented by Chen Xiang many times, and the number of spar was also limited. However, he also wanted to try his luck. This piece of profound Bing had already exceeded the price of the first piece, and many people had already stopped bidding. After the hammer landed, Feng Quan walked up the stage to hand over the spar. However, he regretted his actions now, and regretted his impulsiveness, but the void heavenly stone from before was too enticing, which was why he took the risk to bid for the Black Tiger profound Bing. Leader, you tricked me, but this also made Purple Moon Imperial Land make a lot of money, Li Baojun laughed. It's nothing. It's not like I'm making my spar anyway, and it can also make the relations HI plus P between Purple Moon Imperial Land and myself worse. Chen Xiang didn't care at all. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Just as the old man from the Purple Moon Imperial Land was about to break open the profound Bing, he was stopped by Feng Quan. Can I do it myself? Feng Quan was a ranker from Heaven Realm. It would be easy for him to break this profound Bing. He felt that the probability of him dropping a treasure like this was higher. To him, breaking through profound Bing consumed a lot of energy. Every time he broke a piece of the profound Bing, it would seem as if he had aged a few years. A white glow suddenly seeped out of Feng Quan's fingertip and entered the Black Tiger profound Bing. The profound Bing was stimulated by the immense power from the outside and immediately turned into a pile of ice crystals. Feng Quan immediately rummaged through the pile of ice crystal particles with his eyes wide open, looking extremely anxious, but no matter how much they rummaged, they couldn't find anything inside. This made him secretly curse in his heart, and an indescribable rage arose in his heart. He deeply felt that he had been deceived. The Purple Moon Imperial Land had obtained such a peculiar group of profound Bing. Let out an angry snort and returned to the private box. Giving Purple Moon Imperial Land so many spar for free, no one would be happy about it, but Purple Moon Imperial Land had also taken a huge risk. He earned another 140 billion spar, which made the higher-ups in Purple Moon Imperial Land feel a lot more comfortable. The auctioneer said that there were a total of 15 unique profound Bing. The profound Bing that were brought up next all had different shapes and colors, and compared to the profound Bing from Golden Yang Building, they were all extremely special, because it was very hard to understand why these profound Bing that did not have anything in them could be so beautiful. For example, the White Lotus profound Bing from before. In the next few auctions of the profound Bing, Chun Xiang only partook. 1p aided a few times. He released the fog, causing people to think that he stumbled upon it by chance, but he did not partook. 1p ate any more because he did not even manage to see what was inside the profound Bing. Very quickly it was the last piece. The profound Bing S from before were all bought, but their prices were all very low, with the highest price being 500 billion, and no treasures appeared at all. As long as the number of distinguished guests in the box exceeded 300 billion, they would not increase their bids. He had already auctioned 14 profound Bing S, but aside from one that had sold Sky Stone, the other profound Bing S had nothing. Moreover, there were many strange profound Bing S that looked very beautiful, but they were still empty inside, and everyone understood now, the more beautiful the profound Bing, the less treasures would be inside, because the profound Bing that had produced Sky Stone and Sky Profound Stone previously did not look very pretty. Finally, they reached the last piece. However, everyone's mood was very low. It seemed that it wasn't going to be easy to sell. What was brought up was a very huge profound Bing. It was as big as a bed, elliptical in shape and pitch black in color. However, there were many dots of light on the surface, which made people feel like it was a star chart, because those dots of light on top of the profound Bing wanted to see what was formed in the night sky. This piece of profound Bing was actually like a star map. It was extremely magical, causing many people's hearts to palpitate. Although this piece of profound Bing looked very good, but when everyone thought about the beautiful profound Bing S from before, they all gave up on thinking about it. It seemed not bad, but there was a high possibility that there were no treasures inside. The starting price is 500 billion spar, the host shouted. Since the starting price was already so high, many people had to give up, and if they had to fight over it, they might even reach the top price of 1 trillion. There were more than 10 examples in the past, and many people had already become very rational, not losing their ability to think just because of their appearance. Senior, seize him. Chen Xiang looked inside the Chaos Divine Eye, and saw that there was something strange going on. He hurriedly sent a sound transmission to the White Tiger. The White Tiger immediately raised the bid, 51 billion. Before, because 2 giants had lost over 1 trillion spar, later on there were only a few 100 million or so spar, but now the starting price was too high, so it had exceeded the limit of many people. This is my last chance. The profound Bing looked like a small starry sky. If it suddenly became pitch black here, no one would be able to tell if the stars on the profound Bing are real or fake, the host said, as he thought the price was too low. So what? Don't tell me there really is a treasure inside? You can be certain, don't fool people. You guys sold so many profound Bing, and only one treasure came out. Looks like it won't work. If it doesn't look good, I think I'll think about it. Now, many people were certain that they would not be buying beautiful profound Bing. The previous example told them that beautiful profound Bing did not contain any treasures. I can buy quite a few ordinary profound Bing with 500 million. It's just a test of luck anyway, so I might as well use those profound Bing. Now, it seems that these strange profound Bing are no different from those ordinary profound Bing. Everyone agreed with this statement. Many of them had heard that there was a trend to sell profound Bing at the profound cold ancient realm, but because many people could not get anything from the profound Bing, they did not plan to sell it themselves. Deal. The host sighed in his heart and shouted. He was a little excited in his heart, because he knew that there must be something inside. Although he was strong, to be able to experience this kind of joy in the ordinary world made him feel that it was very meaningful, especially when he was together with Chen Xiang, the great swindler. There were also quite a few spar on the white tiger's body. After he finished delivering them, he hurriedly said, "Don't get rid of them yet, I want to take a look so that I won't be able to see such a magical thing again." The white tiger was speaking the truth. He caressed the star-like dots of light above the profound Bing, and when he got closer, he could see that other than the glare of the multicolored light, there was nothing else special about it. Everyone felt that the Purple Moon Imperial Land must have gotten a lot of these strange profound Bing, but they could not get any good stuff from them, so they took them out to sell. Thinking of this, those people that bought the profound Bing before felt very unhappy. "We can shatter it now," Baihu said as he took a step back. He didn't want to show off his strength, so he let the old man from Purple Moon Imperial Land do it. The old man took a deep breath and gathered all the strength in his body into his fingertip, causing a strong flame to gather on the tip of his finger. His fingertip lightly tapped on the huge black profound Bing and coincidentally tapped on a light blue-colored light that was emitting from it. The entire profound Bing also crumbled in an instant, turning into a large piece of debris. Suddenly, with a "hua" sound, the ice shards were blown away by a force. He saw 3 black beads emitting waves of terrifying black air. This piece of profound Bing actually produced a treasure. Watching it without any ads was awesome. Watching it without any ads was awesome. The moment the 3 black beads appeared in the profound Bing, the entire place was shaken, and their hearts were filled with rage, because this kind of dog HI+T luck was never given to them. Previously they had been fighting with all their might, but in the end there were no treasures in the profound Bing, and there were always treasures that no one fought for. The white tiger's expression changed slightly because the power emitted by the 3 black pearls was too terrifying. It could actually shoot out a black glow that caused the entire hall to become dark. He extended his hand and grabbed, holding the 3 beads tightly in his palm, and then took a deep breath, because he already knew what the 3 beads were. He never thought that such a treasure would appear inside the profound Bing. "It's the Rule Spiritual Bead," an expert from the Heaven Realm shouted. All of these rankers came from the Heaven Realm and were all at the same level as Feng Quan and Ling Feng. Looking at their ferocious looks, they probably wanted to snatch the black pearl from the white tiger's hands. Chen Xiang sneered in his heart, "You reckless fool." Ling Feng from the Purple Moon Imperial Land also appeared. The old lady's face was gloomy and cold. She leaned on her walking stick as she looked at the white tiger. "Brother, this thing is useless to you, but it has a great meaning to us. Can we part with it?" "How do you know it's useless to me?" He had never wanted to provoke the experts of these big powers, so he could now understand why Chen Xiang would always go against these big powers. It was because Chen Xiang had a lot of good things in his hands, and these big powers would always find some kind of magnificent excuse to snatch them away, extremely shameless. "Everyone, are you trying to steal something from my Purple Moon Imperial Land?" Ling Feng looked at the rankers surrounding the white tiger. These rankers from the Heaven Realm were all big shots from the ancient powers, and these ancient powers were also traitors from the past. However, their overall strength was not as strong as those in the Xing domain or those in the Tong Tian aristocratic family. A middle-aged man looked coldly at the white tiger, not replying to Ling Feng. In the eyes of these experts, they were unrivaled existences in this world, and this Rule Spiritual Bead was something that was rarely seen in hundreds of thousands of years. They could not let it go. If they could get one, they could use the power of the ancient code. This was the first time Chen Xiang had heard of this Rule Spiritual Bead. Rule Spiritual Bead and Philosophic Stone are similar things. Rule Spiritual Bead are beads naturally formed from a type of power of law. The person who obtains these Rule Spiritual Bead can step into the realm of using the power of law. There are many types of law energies. For example, the SPAC law and the time law are both powerful law energies, so everyone is relatively familiar with them. There are many types of law energies between heaven and earth. I wonder what kind of law these 3 rule spiritual bead are, by you said. I bought this with more than 500 billion spars. Whether I can eat it or not is my problem. The white tiger was surrounded by so many experts and was still very calm. I can give you 5 trillion spars, Ling Feng said. Many people did not know about the affairs of the rule spiritual bead, but seeing the great battle between these strong warriors, they knew that the 3 pearls were very precious, able to make the strong warriors snatch them away without fear of their own honor. Many people secretly wondered if they would be able to obtain these 3 pearls if they could. The white tiger wanted to store the rule spiritual bead in the storage magic treasure, but it did not succeed. This was very normal, after all. This was a profound orb condensed from the power of the ancient code and could guide living beings in using the power of the ancient code. That's not up to you, otherwise you wouldn't be able to walk out of the door today. Ling Feng's old face turned cold, and said sinisterly. Li Baojun wasn't sure about the white tiger's strength, so he asked Chen Xiang if he could help, but Chen Xiang replied very calmly, "No need, I was thinking about how many of those guys up there can still live." The white tiger was known as the God of slaughter, so he had nothing to be afraid of. "I'll ask you one more time, are you selling or not?" Ling Feng glared at the white tiger and said loudly. At the same time, a few purple-robed elders suddenly appeared, all of them extremely powerful. The 3 rule spiritual beads in the white tiger's hands were trembling. If it wasn't for the fact that he was strong, he wouldn't have been able to catch these 3 rule spiritual beads, which was also why many experts were wary of his strength. How strong were the laws? The condensed pearls were definitely not weak. The white tiger looked at the dozen or so people surrounding him and coldly said, "I'm not selling it. If you make a move on me, you will all die." Humph! A purple-robed elder disdainfully snorted as he thrusted his sword at the white tiger. "Die!" The white tiger ferociously glared at the purple-robed elder. In an instant, the entire hall was filled with a terrifying killing intent, causing many people to go limp and speechless from fright. After the purple-robed elder was glanced at by the white tiger, his entire body turned into black smoke, and the killing intent that erupted from the white tiger's body scattered throughout the hall. "You've angered me," the white tiger bellowed. That terrifying roar made everyone think that they were going to be killed, and the entire auction house also disappeared in an instant. Many of the experts in the boxes floated in the air, their faces filled with fear. These people who thought that they were invincible in the world were like frightened cats, trembling from head to toe. Ling Feng was shocked. She had originally wanted to take action, but at this moment, she was already too weak to retaliate due to the powerful aura of the white tiger. "Everyone, join hands and control him, or else we will all die," Ling Feng shouted. He strove to use all the strength in his body and swung his crutches towards the white tiger. The experts of the other heaven realm also circulated the energy in their bodies and struck towards the white tiger. In that instant, all kinds of light rays enveloped the white tiger, and the dozen experts attacked at the same time, causing the entire Heaven Thunder City to tremble violently. "All of you must die," the white tiger said coldly. Its body trembled, dispersing all the energy that was attacking him, then it threw out a palm towards Ling Feng, and with just a light palm in mid-air, it turned Ling Feng and the powerful cane into black smoke. The Ling Feng who was strong, was actually scared out of his wits by a single palm from someone else. This person's power was so strong that it caused people to be afraid of him. The white tiger's eyes swept across the 10 over people attacking it, shooting out beams of murderous light. Those experts all turned into black smoke and disappeared. With just their eyes, they could crush these experts to death like ants. "Who else wants to steal from me?" The white tiger's voice rang in the minds of the crowd, and many people were so frightened that they were paralyzed on the ground, while the experts that were floating in the air were drenched in cold sweat, their faces full of fear. They didn't doubt that the person in front of them only needed a moment to turn them all into black smoke and disappear from this world forever. The white tiger waved its sleeve and disappeared in the blink of an eye. After a few moves, those experts who thought themselves to be unrivaled in the world turned into a cloud of black smoke. Looking at the ruined auction house, everyone could not help but s.h.I plus ver, especially the floating black smoke. It was the only thing that remained behind after the death of the famous Heaven Realm warriors. After a few moves, those experts who thought themselves to be unrivaled in the world turned into a cloud of black smoke. Looking at the ruined auction house, everyone could not help but s.H.I plus ver, especially the floating black smoke. It was the only thing that remained behind after the death of the famous Heaven Realm warriors. Who was that person? Everyone had this question, and only the demon empress, LV Qinlian, knew that person was the person she met before in the Golden Yang building. People with this kind of strength were rarely seen even in the Heaven Realm. It's the Emperor's Qi, of the Feng clan, had a solemn look on his face. That's right. Legend has it that only the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord who had mastered Heaven-Earth killing method would have such a terrifying power. Who exactly is this person? Could it be Qin Xiang? An old man mumbled. It's definitely not him. If it really was Qin Xiang, your Feng clan would have been annihilated long ago. The Gold Sun Saint Realm leader said. When everyone left in shock and fear, Qin Xiang and Li Baojun returned to their residences. The white tiger also returned, and he even used his power to confine the power of the 3 rule spiritual beads so that they wouldn't leak out. Li Baojun had long known that the white tiger was very strong, but he never thought that it would be strong to such an extent. Now, he finally understood why Qin Xiang fearlessly came to the 3 realms talk to Partik. 1p8 and why the things that the white tiger often talked about were so long ago. Senior, you were so beautiful just now. Qin Xiang laughed. These guys are really too excessive. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother to attack them and waste my strength. The white tiger spread out its palm and said, These 3 rule spiritual bead are very valuable, and many people don't know how to use them. 1 for each person. Qin Xiang said. That's not a problem, but we don't know what the rules are for these rule spiritual bead. If they're not suitable for us, then it might be a waste, or it might affect us. The white tiger said very seriously. A golden light shot out from between Qin Xiang's brows and opened his chaos divine eye, wanting to pry into these rule spiritual bead, but he suffered from a strong mental counterattack, causing his head to sink. He was in extreme pain and almost fell to the ground. Can you see anything? The white tiger supported him and asked in a hurry. Yes, this one is burning with a strong flame. Qin Xiang's face was pale white as he pointed to one of the rule spiritual bead. He never thought that the chaos divine eye would actually be so powerful, to be able to directly see through the rule spiritual bead and see the power of the ancient code inside. It should be the law of fire. Which one of you wants it? The white tiger looked at Qin Xiang and Li Baojun, since the 2 of them were refining pills. Although it was unknown what benefits the fire laws could bring, it could be imagined that it would be very useful. I already have a 5 elements heavenly fire. If leader needs it, then I will take it. Li Baojun did not care about the rule spiritual bead. If not for Qin Xiang, they would not even have seen its face. Give it to him. After your heaven fire evolved into a sky fire, it can be said to be the strongest flame. I might be able to comprehend the fire laws by then. Su Meiyao said that Qin Xiang had a lot of room to grow in terms of fire. Although choosing the law of fire now would help him improve even faster, Qin Xiang possessing the law of fire was a matter of time. Qin Xiang said, Elderly, if you want it, take it. My flames are more than enough now. Li Baojun nodded. He took a rule spiritual bead from the white tiger's hands, and it took him a lot of effort to hold it. How do I use it? Li Baojun asked. Blood soul sacrifice. Use your blood and soul to refine it. The white tiger replied, "The process will be a bit painful. Then I'll go into seclusion." Li Baojun nodded his head and quickly entered the room. With 2 rule spiritual bead remaining, Chen Xiang said, "I'll rest first, then we'll see what's inside." "Why don't we try our luck?" White Tiger smiled. In any case, aside from the fire laws, the other laws no longer mattered to you. If Chen Xiang could obtain the law of fire, that would be a bit of a waste, because his heaven fire could evolve. All right. Chen Xiang didn't dare to take the rule spiritual bead now, because after being attacked just now, he was completely powerless. Chen Xiang sat down to rest and asked, "How is the law of fire?" The white tiger shook its head. "I've never seen it with my own eyes, but I've heard that the vermilion bird comprehended the laws of fire, allowing her to use the power of the fire laws. However, I've never seen her use it before." "The vermilion bird is so powerful, how did it die?" Chen Xiang had her bones. The white tiger did not reply Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang stuck out his tongue, then asked, "Senior, who have you seen unleash HI+ing the power of the ancient code? Law of time. When a guy fights with me because he used the time laws, he added power to my body, making my time slow down by a lot. Then, my movements would become very slow in his eyes, and I would be miserably tortured by him." When the white tiger mentioned this, it repeatedly sighed. "What guy? He actually knows the time laws?" Chen Xiang asked curiously. "An old man of unknown origin. He also said that he used the law of time, that he said through time and space to return back to the ancient times to look at history, but he also said that although he could use the law of time, he couldn't change the law. Otherwise, he would have been destroyed." The white tiger said, "That's amazing. The time laws are indeed amazing. But that's not a good thing at all. If he can't help but want to change history, that would be a huge disaster." Chen Xiang shook his head and laughed. "If there are no rules spiritual bead, comprehending the power of the law is extremely difficult." The white tiger looked at the rule spiritual bead in its hands. "I have always heard about this kind of thing, but I never thought that I would actually be able to see it. That profound cold ancient realm is indeed a very mysterious place. The profound being there can actually freeze this kind of thing." Chen Xiang had already recovered most of his strength, but he was a little worried that he would get his hands on the rule spiritual bead of the time laws. "I want this." Chen Xiang did not hesitate either. After casually grabbing a rule spiritual bead and escaping from the white tiger's palm, the rule spiritual bead's power was released, almost shattering his arm. That power was simply too terrifying. "I was worried you wouldn't be able to catch it. Use the blood-soul sacrifice technique." The white tiger warned and said, "If I count you in, it should take around 7 to 8 days for you to fuse with a rule spiritual bead. You should be able to catch up to the 3 realms talk." The rule spiritual bead was a hot potato. It was difficult to seal, and it was also impossible to put it inside the storage magic treasure. Only by quickly merging with it would it be the safest. Chen Xiang came to his room, cut open his palm and forced out a stream of fresh blood. He then let the fresh blood wrap around the rule spiritual bead and released the power of his soul at the same time. The 4 walls were all white. When he pressed his hand on one of the walls, he found that the wall actually had the ability to pierce through it, allowing his entire arm to sink into the wall. He immediately stepped into the wall. The moment he stuck his head in, he saw a white space. The other half of his body was still standing there. The 4 walls were all white. When he pressed his hand on one of the walls, he found that the wall actually had the ability to pierce through it, allowing his entire arm to sink into the wall. He immediately stepped into the wall. The moment he stuck his head in, he saw a white space. The other half of his body was still standing there. This is the space laws. Chen Xiang was pleasantly surprised. The spatial laws were pretty good, they might be able to allow him to travel through dimensions easily. He had always been vexed about the Luotian gate's damage. He never thought that he would actually get the profound orb of the spatial laws. When he opened his eyes, he saw that there were actually many black spatial cracks all around him. The tyrannical power of S.P.A.C. crazily drilled into his body, as if it was a black evil spirit that wanted to devour him. This caused him to be terrified. "This is the power of law," Long Shui shouted. "The power of the ancient code is right beside us, it's just that it's difficult to touch it." Streams of black qi surged out from the spatial cracks, and seeped into Chen Xiang's nose, eyes, mouth, ears, and the vital parts of his body. Chen Xiang only felt a slight pain in his body, as if many things had forcefully entered his body and were stabbing pains into it. Those were all spirit grain related to S.P.A.C. He now understood, if he wanted to control S.P.A.C. as he wished, he would need to familiarize himself with these spirit grain, and at this time, because of the rule spiritual bead, he was able to extract these law spirit grain S from S.P.A.C. and integrate them into his own body and soul. "Take out the philosophic stone and take a look." Bai Yu thought for a while and replied. Chen Xiang immediately took it out and held it in his hand, and at this time, more and more law spirit grain flowed into his body. Although he did not know whether it was beneficial for him or not, at the moment, he could tell that the effects of this philosophic stone was not small. In this state, Chen Xiang unknowingly said through the 9th day. He had already completely merged with the rule spiritual bead. His strength did not increase by much, but he felt that his comprehension of S.P.A.C. had deepened by a level. He felt that he should be able to travel a short distance in S.P.A.C. There were countless law spirit grain in his mind. If he wanted to use the power of the spatial laws, then he would have to activate those spirit grain S. The more he used the power of the spatial laws, the stronger they would be, and the stronger he would be able to traverse those hard S.P.A.C.s. Chen Xiang stood inside the door and with a thought, activated the spirit grain. Taking a step forward, he entered the great hall. Seeing that Chen Xiang had arrived in this way, they all understood that Chen Xiang's rule spiritual beads were the spatial laws. "It's really exhausting," Chen Xiang exclaimed. "Just that little distance has already caused me to consume so much energy." White Tiger smiled. "Of course, now that D. Tian's S.P.A.C. is gradually increasing, it's not a joke. It's already pretty good that you can use your own power to travel through S.P.A.C., but you need to know that your current strength is minuscule compared to these stable S.P.A.C.s. Senior, what are the rules within your rule spiritual bead?" Chen Xiang asked curiously. "Law of darkness. I am quite satisfied with it. It suits me quite well. It can absorb the power of light." At this moment, the White Tiger was extremely happy. Long ago, it had been envious of those who could comprehend the laws. He never thought that after his rebirth, he would be able to control a law so quickly. "I want to see what it is like." Chen Xiang's eyes lit up. The power of the ancient code was indeed strong. The White Tiger shook its head and said, "If I use my power, I'm afraid it will cause quite a bit of commotion." Chen Xiang looked at Li Baojun and asked, "Elderly, where are your laws of fire?" Li Baojun laughed. "It's also very strong. I'm worried that I won't be able to control it and I'll burn the entire city. The law of fire can make my flames even stronger, and at the same time, let me not be afraid of any powerful flames, and also let my flames not be controlled by anyone, so even water can't do anything to me. Of course, there are still a lot of uses to it, and I can't fully display my current strength." The three of them had all obtained rule spiritual beads that they were satisfied with, and all of them were overjoyed. The rule spiritual bead were so powerful, no wonder those fellows wanted to S.N.A.T.C. them, but they were all exterminated. I'm afraid that it will be very difficult to see another rule spiritual bead in the future. Chen Xiang laughed. The white tiger nodded. When you were fusing with the rule spiritual bead, you should have felt that the power of the ancient code was right by our side. At that time, it let me comprehend a trace of the profound meaning of the ancient code. Chen Xiang and the other two had isolated themselves for so many days to fuse with Rule's spiritual bead, but outside, people were already panicking. This was because the matter of the white tiger killing Ling Feng had caused fear in many people, especially those ancient powers. Although the white tiger was powerful, Chen Xiang could tell that the white tiger was wary of him. It was afraid of a mysterious power, so he did not dare to reveal his true strength. Chen Xiang and the other two were in the hall discussing about the power of the ancient code. Until late in the night, when they were about to rest, they suddenly heard a deafening roar, towards which Chen Xiang and the white tiger were not unfamiliar. It was the roar of a dragon, a real dragon. It's a royal dragon. From the sound of it, it should be from the sacred dragon bloodline. The white tiger's expression changed as it hurriedly walked out of the hall. Chen Xiang anxiously asked Long Shui, "What is the background of the sacred dragon bloodline?" The Dragon Emperor's bloodline has always been the sacred dragon's bloodline since ancient times, but us white dragons are not weaker than them, and the jade dragons are also stronger than them. It's just that they have the most number of Dragon Emperor, so they can lead the Imperial Dragon race. Dragon Emperor? The strongest existence in the Imperial Dragon race? Chen Xiang had been listening to Long Shui talk all day about becoming a Dragon Emperor, but there really was one. Yes, I think it should be in existence as powerful as the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. It's just that the current Dragon Emperor only appeared after the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, and Di Tian also doesn't exist. That's why he didn't call himself Emperor. However, I think that he should be making his move soon. Sooner or later, I will trample this Dragon Emperor to death. I am the real Dragon Emperor. Long Shui seemed to hate the sacred dragon bloodline a lot. However, it was no wonder that if the white dragon was not weak and fought the holy dragon for the throne, there would definitely be a conflict. The white tiger looked at the sky. It was currently late at night, but the distant sky was illuminated by a golden cloud. That golden light was incredibly divine, making people feel as if it was a divine light that looked down on the world. The white tiger looked at the sky. It was currently late at night, but the distant sky was illuminated by a golden cloud. That golden light was incredibly divine, making people feel as if it was a divine light that looked down on the world. It really is the sacred dragon bloodline, but it looks like it's a small dragon. The white tiger let out a sigh of relief. I thought it was that old holy dragon that came down. Senior, can't you beat that old holy dragon? Was extremely surprised. The white tiger and the azure dragon were existences of the same generation, and it was said that the azure dragon was the patriarch of the imperial dragon race. The white tiger shook its head. You know that I haven't completely recovered my strength. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. The corner of Chen Xiang's mouth twitched. His strength had not completely recovered, but he had become so powerful. The peak-level strength of this big white cat is quite terrifying. Back then, my white dragon ancestor had witnessed the big white cat and the azure dragon ancestor fight. In my inherited memories, they were evenly matched. The white tiger said, "If there is a holy dragon coming down suddenly, it's very likely that it's because the news of you casting the primal chaos dragon curse has already spread to the heaven realm." Chen Xiang used the primal chaos dragon curse to attack the sacred sacrificed altar. Those ancient powers informed the big shots in the heaven realm about this matter, and those big shots definitely knew that it was a primal chaos dragon curse. Before, when Chen Xiang had activated the heavenly dragon seal, it had already made the imperial dragon race suspicious, but back then, they felt that it was not necessary to investigate it thoroughly. But it was different now. The primal Chaos Dragon Curse was the only powerful dragon in the Imperial Dragon race that had the chance to obtain the inheritance of the primal Chaos Dragon Curse. Generally speaking, small dragons with Imperial karmic luck would be able to receive the inheritance of the Chaotic Dragon Curse. But now, it was a human who was displaying it, not to mention the fact that this human was also holding on to Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword, and was cultivating Taiji Dragon Suppressed Kung Fu S and Heaven Earth Killing Method S. This made Imperial Dragon Race feel threatened. It had to be known that only the Dragon Emperor and the Dragon Prince of Imperial Dragon Race knew how to use the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse. The Holy Dragon has descended, and this place has dragon veins. As the most Bleed Dragon in the Imperial Dragon Race, they have even more of an excuse to SNATCH the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S. Do you think we still need to reveal our identity? 1. Ties to join the Three Realms talk? At that time, Imperial Dragon Race will definitely know that you know how to use the Primal Chaos Dragon Curse. The White Tiger asked. Of course. Why not? I've killed dragons and all that sort of thing, but this is the first time I've killed a holy dragon. Chen Xiang's eyes flashed with killing intent. As the leader, how can he live up to his name if he doesn't kill a holy dragon? He actually wanted to kill the holy dragon. This would definitely infuriate the old holy dragon. Yes, that's it. If I'm not mistaken, that guy should be the Dragon King. At that time, this old lady will personally come out and take care of this fellow who will fight with me for the throne in the future. Long Shui shouted angrily from inside the ring. No, if it really is the Prince Imperial Dragon, then let me kill it, Chen Xiang said. No, I will kill, Long Shui shouted. It's the same for me if I kill him. Don't look out for him. Chen Xiang laughed. With that bit of strength of yours, you are too weak. If you don't borrow my strength, you definitely won't be able to defeat me. Let me handle it. This is the decisive battle between the juniors of our Imperial Dragon race, Long Shui said. Being ruthlessly looked down upon by this little naughty dragon, Chen Xiang was even more unable to show weakness. When the time comes, I definitely do not need to borrow your power to get rid of that Prince Imperial Dragon by myself. If it was a normal dragon, many people would definitely chase after it to kill it, because the Imperial Dragon race would not care about it. But if the Imperial Dragon race's dragon was killed, that was equivalent to piercing through the sky, and many powerful old fellows could tell that the dragon that appeared today came from the Imperial Dragon race. The golden cloud in the sky disappeared and the White Tiger said, Tomorrow, Three Realms Talk should be able to see this dragon. Holy Dragon, Sacred Sacrificed Altar, Three Realms Talk really did make a big move. Chen Xiang was still tormenting himself as to how strong he would be if he could unleash his full strength. He thought about slaughtering a holy dragon with his own strength, without relying on Long Shui's strength. The sky gradually brightened. Chen Xiang opened his eyes with a trace of astonishment on his face, because he clearly felt that the SPACE had become extremely hard. This meant that D Tian's SPACE had suddenly become very firm today, and today was the day the Three Realms talk began. Don't tell me that those ancient powers specially arranged them for this day? Did they know that D Tian's SPACE will become stronger today? Chen Xiang was very suspicious. When he walked out of the room, Bai Hu and Li Baojun followed him into the hall. After D Tian entered the growth stage, the SPACE was completely sealed. In other words, other than those who just crossed the 9 nirvana tribulations and were dragged to the heaven realm, no one else was able to leave or enter this place. The White Tiger said, those ancient powers actually knew that it was on this day. They definitely have other intentions for arranging the Three Realms talk today. So you're saying that those strong guys in the heaven realm are also unable to come down? Li Baojun asked. That's right. Most likely, many ancient powers sent a large group of people to strengthen the foundation they have in D Tian last night. The Imperial Dragon race will definitely bring down a lot of dragons too. Although Tion does not have the status that he did in the past, but now that the clouds have risen again, the various powers have already started to occupy the land in Tion. The White Tiger said. Chen Xiang looked into the sky, his expression extremely unsatisfied. These fellows are too shameless. If they were to come down from the heaven realm, wouldn't the local forces be suppressed by them? Or subdued by them? Wouldn't it be fine if we just annihilate them? Isn't that what your dragon subduing school wants to do? The White Tiger laughed. Chen Xiang took out a sign and said, Right now we will use our original appearances to partake. 1P8 in the Three Realms talk. There is still some distance between here and the meeting place. At that time, you guys should be responsible for cleaning up the people who want to take action against us. Hee, my strength is just like that, you know that. Li Baojun laughed. I will make my move. If I cannot take it, the Great Clan Elder will attack again. Now you cannot expose the Great Clan Elder's strength. After Li Baojun integrated with the Rule spiritual bead, his strength must have risen sharply. Chen Xiang felt that if not for this fellow, Hong Kong, he would be able to handle this situation. Let's go, that holy dragon will definitely join the Three Realms talk. The ancient powers will probably go and curry favor with this guy, and then there will be a conflict. But leader, you had best not do anything. Leave everything to me and elderly, the White Tiger said. Today's Three Realms talk was extremely important to them, because this was the day where they would completely beat up the reputation of the Dragon Subduing School, and also the day that they would expose that the Dragon Subduing School was him, Chen Xiang. The three of them displayed their original appearances and arrived at a large road, walking towards the huge palace in the distance. Chen Xiang and the other two were very eye-catching as they walked through the empty street. Although the White Tiger's appearance was extremely ordinary, its figure was tall and lofty. Its eyes emitted an absolutely terrifying light, causing people to not dare to look straight at it. Chen Xiang and the other two were very eye-catching as they walked through the empty street. Although the White Tiger's appearance was extremely ordinary, its figure was tall and lofty. Its eyes emitted an absolutely terrifying light, causing people to not dare to look straight at it. Li Baojun smiled, holding the flickering red Kylan fan in his hand. It pierced the eyes of many people, all the way while it burned their body and mind, making them feel terrified. There was even less of a need to talk about Chen Xiang. His appearance had long been deeply imprinted in people's hearts. Finding someone who did not know him was extremely difficult. His current bounty was so high that it was scary. Thus many people looked at his portrait 9 to 5 days ago, trying to remember it. However, most of them didn't want to capture him for the reward and remember his appearance. They just wanted to avoid provoking this fiend and avoid him as long as they saw him, lest it bring about a fatal disaster. Isn't taking the Kylan fan the Dragon Subduing School's elderly? He seems to be the one in charge of the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, and the other middle-aged man seems to be the great clan elder of the Dragon Subduing School. Could it be that Chen Xiang is also from the Dragon Subduing School? Furthermore, you have a very high position in the Dragon Subduing School. It's said that Sky Dragon had descended last night because of Three Realms talk. I never thought that Dragon Subduing School would also come, and it's even Chen Xiang as the representative. Now we're going to watch. Let's keep going. All the people in Dragon Subduing School are targets of those ancient powers. The people on both sides of the street quickly dodged, and this matter quickly reached the ears of the big heads of the major forces. Chen Xiang represented Dragon Subduing School, and even brought 2 elders of the Dragon Subduing School with him. Those big shots thought that the people from the Dragon Subduing School would come and cause trouble, but they never thought that it was actually Chen Xiang who brought the people here. Before, Chen Xiang had killed Ziyu Tianzi and the powerful Purple Moon in a high profile in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, and then killed Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. One must know that Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was considered as a guardian by those traitors. Many of the big heads immediately thought of the day when the sacred sacrificed altar was attacked by the primal chaos dragon curse, and thought that it was very possible that Chen Xiang had hidden himself to attack. Now that the holy dragon of the imperial dragon race had come down, it was precisely for this moment that Chen Xiang had appeared. Someone's coming, leave this little one to me. If I can't beat him, elderly, then you can attack. Chen Xiang, who was in the air, could see a large group of people rushing over from all directions. Before long, the roofs on both sides of the street were filled with people. These people were originally going to Partik 1p8 in the Three Realms talk, but they were all attracted by the two elders and Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang, you're actually from the Dragon Subduing School? You should not be showing yourself so arrogantly right now. The reason the Imperial Dragon Race's Dragon King descended upon the Heaven Realm last night was because he was aiming for you. LV Qinlian's voice was full of reproach because she did not want to become enemies with the Imperial Dragon Race, but she could not help Chen Xiang either. If Chen Xiang had been attacked today based on the friends Hi+P between her and Chen Xiang, she would definitely intervene. Big Sis Lu, don't worry, to be honest, I am a leader of the Dragon Subduing School. I am here today for the Crown Prince of the Imperial Dragon Race. If he dares attack me, I will kill him and establish my authority. Chen Xiang's voice was full of dominance, causing him to be stunned. Chen Xiang sealed the divine sense C and did not receive other people's sound transmissions, continuing to advance along with the White Tiger and Li Baojun. A burst of purple light suddenly appeared in front of them, and over 10 people dressed in purple robes blocked their way. Their faces revealed fierce expressions, with weapons in their hands. The first to attack was actually Purple Moon Imperial Land. Huang Jintian and the others also received the news that Chen Xiang had appeared, but Huang Jintian was not worried at all. He brought Gu Dongchen and the others into the Compet 1 Tian grounds. What are you doing here? A middle-aged man from Purple Moon Imperial Land asked with a stern voice. We are here to Partik 1p8 in the Three Realms talks Compet 1 Tian, here is our order badge. Chen Xiang took out the recommendation badge from Zhuozhinshuan. Humph, you can tell at a glance that it was stolen. The man from the Purple Moon Imperial Land sneered. I gave it to him. Why not? Zhuozhinshuan, who was at the side, said coldly. Does your Purple Moon Imperial Land not recognize the sex that my devil-subduing college approves? Li Baojun took a step forward and shouted, Get out of the way and use your weapon to face us, don't blame me for being rude. The Purple Moon Imperial Land suffered a huge loss at the hands of Chen Xiang, and also suffered a huge loss in front of the Dragon Subduing City. On that day when they attacked the Dragon Subduing City, they lost a lot of experts, and thinking about it now, they felt a pain in their hearts, and their strongest, Ling Feng, had also been killed by someone not long ago. Chen Xiang, you and the ancient forces like us are irreconcilable. Don't even think about joining the Three Realms talk today. So long-winded. Li Baojun raised the Kylan fan in his hand and ferociously swung it. A fiery red astral wind surged out and stirred up a wave of fire, which swept forward like a bolt of lightning. Boom! 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 The fire wave instantly struck the Purple Moon Imperial Landspeople. The extremely terrifying fire energy frantically drilled into their bodies, and then exploded inside, causing their souls to be destroyed, leaving not even their remains. Those who have enmity with the Dragon Subduing School, or those who have enmity with the leader, just come forward. We will accompany you to the end. Li Baojuan's voice was calm and transmitted in all directions, but when the rest heard it, they were extremely shocked. They could already tell that Chen Xiang was Dragon Subduing School. The Dragon Fountain was actually obtained by Chen Xiang. Then, Chen Xiang created the Dragon Subduing School. Now, they understood why the Dragon Subduing School would go against those ancient powers time and time again, because the Dragon Subduing School was created by Chen Xiang. However, many people still could not understand how Chun Xiang managed to create such a powerful city. Isn't it just using the resources at hand to rope in some experts? Your own strength is only that much. A charming woman dressed in a purple dress slowly landed on the ground like a leaf. When this incomparably beautiful woman in a purple dress appeared, many men stared at her with dazed eyes. Could guess that the purple-dressed woman was probably the heavenly daughter of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, called Jing Shuangze. She was incomparably beautiful, and her every move carried a charming and gentle charm. If my strength is only that much, then wouldn't your leader, who is known to be at the pinnacle of strength, be beheaded by me? I also killed your traitor's master, Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. Your master died miserably in my hands. What right do you, a bunch of dog slaves, have to belittle me in front of me? Chun Xiang activated his innate qi, purposely speaking loudly so that his voice would reverberate in the sky. You idiots shouldn't belittle me now, because that would only lower yourselves. When you mock me, why don't you think about how many years you've suffered at my hands? I am the most qualified one to laugh at you all.